I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, I'll be loud. Yeah, I can hear you right now. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, bye.
All right, after 2 years and 11 weeks, the Section 6 football championships have returned to Highmark Stadium, and boy, am I excited to be here. Well, thank you for watching the Western New York Athletics Class C pregame show presented by Howard Hanna and Western New York Media Care. I am joined tonight by Joe Daniel and Frank Wolf of Western New York Athletics. We're going to be with you all weekend long, previewing, doing halftime coverage and post-game coverage of all 5 games. And we're going to get this weekend started off with the small schools. It's Class D, Franklinville, Ellicottville, and Randolph. Guys, first of all, we're going to get in this game, but first of all, I'm so excited to be back at Highmark Stadium. There is nothing like high school football at the home of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, Francis, I completely agree. We've been, covering Section 6 football, Monsignor Martin, since 2016 as a group, WNY Athletics. We've done them on internet radio, and now we're live streaming them, and now we're doing pregame shows like this, and so much went into it. I thank Tom Prince and Heidi and Tim Gardner and you, Francis, Joe, everyone that's been a part of it, Jeremy Norm, all our camera guys to put into this and get this thing going. Hopefully we deliver a good product for everybody. Thanks to our sponsors, Howard Hanna, Media Care, and Logistics Plus of Buffalo. Yes, I'm extremely excited. We've been down here since 2 o'clock today getting set up. I don't know if everyone's getting the glare off my forehead like they should, if that's acceptable. But Francis, Franklinville, Ellicottville, Titans, they were here last time we were in the stadium, right? I mean, it was CSP and the Titans that locked horns in the Class D finals. It's been a stretch for Randolph. But Randolph has beaten both those teams. Their record, as it stands, is 9-0.
Yeah, Randolph has had a fantastic season, led by Xander Hine, who is 4th in the Western New York in rushing, over 1,000 yards. Let me just pull it up. How much he actually has? 1,604. That's 4th in all of Western New York in rushing yards, along with 22 TDs as well. Yeah, he's having a fantastic season. Certainly a top candidate for the Connolly Cup.
And guys, I'm excited to be with you both. I joined with you guys in February, so this is my first Section 6 championships here at the stadium. Going to get to see some great games tonight, Forestville and Randolph. And, it all starts with Class D. With Forestville, though, I'm a little
Franklinville.
Franklinville. I'm sorry, with Franklinville, I apologize. I'm a little interested to see how they come back. They won 6-3 last week, only scoring 6 points. Quarterback threw a couple interceptions. They did a really good job, and the rush defense only giving up 39 yards and 19 carries. And guess who likes to run the ball? Randolph. Randolph loves to run the ball. They got Marsh, so it's going to be a team that loves to run the ball. And you got Franklinville, who needs to stop the rush. And if they can do it, they're going to keep themselves in the game because Randolph, they can score some points.
Yeah, like Francis said, Xander Hine at 1,600 yards, but don't forget Luke Padgett. These two guys are also wrestlers, so they know how to play that physical aspect of this game, the technical aspect, and that sort of thing. Francis, very
well.
tough
They sort of
competitors.
have when I watch them, they kind of had that triple option feeling where they line up Padgett in the middle, kind of that fullback, and that way usually have him up the middle and then Hind kind of to the outside, so you really get that 1-2 punch.
And there's also Carson Conley. He threw, he rushed for 34 yards, just a junior. There's a couple guys you could see. Tristan Farnham maybe get a couple of carries today. He's a sophomore. Paget is the quarterback. He's a senior as well. Xander is the junior, though. And these two guys rushed for, I believe, combo maybe close to 1,100 yards. I'm sorry, 2,200 yards collectively. I expect Randolph to continue doing what's worked for them all year. Coach Brent Brown, he's no stranger to these parts. You know who used to coach Randolph? I believe Sherlock from Fredonia. So he's, you know, here
Who's going to be
again.
here tomorrow?
Yeah, I think that was kind of interesting. One of those things that was under the radar. Those two guys used to coach together, and they're best friends. And we got a nice picture with those two guys back on Tuesday at Media Day. Franklinville-Ellicottville is an interesting team. To me, Francis and Joe, you know, they've weathered the storm all year, right? They've been in some big games, very close games. And I think Randolph, for the most part, has ran away with their victories, Francis. A 47-0 over JFK to start the season. 10-point win over Franklinville-Ellicottville. I think that score was one of the closest of the season, just 10 points. But everything else, you know, 22-0 over CSP. I was actually at that game. CSP really had no answers for Alexander Hind and Paget. It was the two of them just ran roughshod most of the days. A lot of penalties in that game on both sides, a little uncharacteristic of both teams, but a highly anticipated matchup. And that's really the one time I got to see Randolph up close and personal. The big win, though, how about at Depew? At Depew, they go up and play B School and dominate 44-28.
And don't forget, Depew was a top 3 team in Class B. They won their division. So, I mean, they were no slouch to face.
I mean, you got 59-0 over Cat Little Valley. We saw that coming, I guess, and then finish it up. Portville, though. Portville, 46-0. That's a statement win right there for this program, if you ask me. I mean, CSP was the statement win for sure to start things going, and that really gave them the confidence to mow through Class D. They earned their way here. No question about it. They earned their way here. But Franklinville-Ellicottville, they've weathered the storm all year, and I think they're going to put up a fight today. They're not going to lay down and let Randolph, the Cardinals, run roughshod. We're in for a good game today.
And, Joe, you talked to Coach March just maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. What did he say to you about how they got ready for today and who they're really focusing on?
Yeah, so I talked to Coach Marsh, and obviously his son is a big part of what they do out there. He says it was just hard to concentrate today. Just so much momentum going on with the game and just ready to play. They did have a walkthrough at Hamburg. Their goals tonight for their keys: play physical, stop the run. And obviously with Randolph, they've thrown 24 passes all season. So this is going to be a ground and pound. They're going to have to stop the run if they want to stay in this game. And guys, we're going to find out very soon.
All right, real quick. These two teams played in week 2. Franklinville-Ellicottville getting the Randolph getting the better 36-26 in a game that the Titans were in for much of it. There were some issues kind of in the second half, but I mean, they were very much punch for punch with the Cardinals.
I expect that today.
All right, I think on that note, you're hearing the national anthem, so we're going to send it to a break, but stick with us. After this, we'll send it over to the booth for the broadcast of the Class D championship of Section 6, Randolph versus Franklinville-Ellicottville. You're watching Western New York Athletics at Highmark Stadium.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Highmark Stadium for today's Class D championship game between the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans and the Randolph Cardinals here on WesternNewYorkAthletics.com. Mark Johnson and Tom Prince here. And Tom, we have a great matchup here to start off this championship weekend here at Highmark.
Okay, come on. You got to be pumped, man. We're here at the stadium. We're all here. We got our games. We're going, Mark. You got to be excited right now. Listen, we've got 2 fantastic programs right now that are about to go head-to-head. 2 storied programs that are about to kick off this championship run. We've got 5 fantastic games, but one right now that is huge. We're going to be led by right now the home team, the Randolph Cardinals. They're going to be led, no doubt, by that running back right now, which has got the 4th in yards in Western New York, and Xander Hind. This kid is the real deal. This kid can run the ball, and right now, Franklinville-Ellicottville's job is to stop the run. And I'll tell you this, if they don't stop the run, be careful because they can pass the ball too here as far as anything goes. And you'll see that Randolph has the opportunity to go to Carson Conley if they need to go ahead and throw the ball that way.
Well, FEville will kick the ball off here, so Randolph, at 9-0 coming in here. They had a big win to get here over Portville, shut them out 46-0. Meanwhile, FEville beat CSP 6-3.
6-3.
A defensive ball game that was.
It really was. And remember, the weather really, had a factor on that field that was out there. But listen, I say this in a lot of the broadcasts that we do, Mark. One of the most underrated quarterbacks in Western New York is Lucas Marsh. And because of what he does, you're not going to see 250, 350 yards thrown. But you know what you're going to see? It's a kid that could put up touchdowns and finds the end zone constantly. That's the kind of kid you're going to have. You got a leader that's out there, and he's somebody that can absolutely lead the way. There's no doubt about it.
The first of 5 games here at Highmark Stadium. 2 tonight, 3 tomorrow. It's a great weekend for high school football in Western New York.
Oh, I mean, really is. And beautiful night tonight. It's going to change tomorrow, no doubt, right?
It sure is.
We know that tomorrow's going to change. But, and I'll tell you, the one player to watch out for Franklinville-Ellicottville that we probably haven't heard a lot about, but I'll tell you, all of a sudden can turn it on and he'll receive the ball is Logan Granols. He can absolutely be a player that out there that we could hear about, that we're going to talk about, and a name could come up as a difference maker out there, especially if Franklinville-Ellicottville goes to the air.
Well, back to receive for Randolph. It's Josh Bush, number 3, the senior wideout. Back there along with number 37, Xander Hine, who, as you mentioned, Tom, can just absolutely destroy people with his running. 189 carries, 1,604 yards, 8.5 a crack, 22 touchdowns, plus 1 receiving. Here we go. Number 60 getting ready to boot it off here and get us started, and that's Joe Conlon for the Titans. Titans in their white jerseys, and we're underway. Kickoff goes to Bush on the run. Bush crosses the 20, gets nailed and gets to the outside, and not a decent, pretty decent return out there out to the 27-yard line.
So I talk about this, and I know, Mark, you and I do a lot of broadcasts together, and I understand I'm about to sound like a broken record on you. You know that. The only way you're going to run the ball effectively is behind the line, right? We're going to see a battle of the trenches right now. These are 2 teams that pride themselves on defense and pride themselves on running the ball. To do that, it's behind the lines, and that's where there's going to be a ton of right now battle right in the trenches.
So the quarterback Conley is going to hand it off, and he hands it off to Hine. Hine picks up 3 yards up to about the 30-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 7 here for Randolph. They come in here, of course, 9-0, 5-0 in the division, and pretty much march their way right to Highmark Stadium here this weekend. The ball right at the 30-yard line. So I'm sure Randolph will be giving a good dose of the ball to Mr. Hine, who wears 37. Randolph in their all red jerseys, red pants, white helmets. Hine gets the carry again. This time the Titans are waiting for him. He still picked up a couple. We'll bring up 3rd down.
Right now, you got to think early in this game, Franklinville-Ellicottville is trying to make them pass the ball, right? You don't want that to go to Hine constantly, and to be able to make sure that he's not going to have that day. So we'll see early on. Good stops here by Franklinville-Ellicottville. This is big to start things off.
26, Blake Frank was in on that tackle. So here we go, 3rd down. And they're going to call it, 3rd and long 5 here. And it's Conley to keep it, and he is jammed up, and they stopped him 3 and out. The Titans do the job defensively here to start this ball game.
Big stop by number 69, Caleb Plotz right there.
Yeah, Plotz came up, made the tackle. He was joined by a host of defenders with him. So it's 4th down and 5. No gain on that play. Might have picked up maybe a half a yard, but regardless. Jaden Huntington back to punt here for Randolph, standing on his own 20-yard line. And back to receive, it's Granols. He gets the punt off barely. Now Granols on the fly, catches it. 30, 35, 40. Gets off to the 45, turns the corner, and he's tackled. And we have a flag down, our first flag of the ball game here, Tom. I don't know, probably a push to the back.
Yeah, you would think that's going to go against Franklinville-Ellicottville right there. Normally, every time, unless it's usually something at the very end, goes against the receiving team.
Well, you mentioned Lucas Marsh, the quarterback, 77 on 137 for 1,254 yards, 23 touchdowns against the 7 interceptions, but he loves to throw. The kid's got an arm.
Well, like I said, 23 touchdowns. The kid finds the end zone and finds it constantly. There's no doubt about it. But listen, the first time these two played, right, 14 points Randolph put up in the first quarter. Right away already got off to that lead. That first stop right there for Franklinville-Ellicottville is big and is the start right there if Franklinville-Ellicottville is going to make sure they keep this as a close game or try to go for the win.
Personal foul against the Titans, so they're going to mark them off 15 yards on an illegal chop block. So right off the bat, that nullifies a great return. Brings the ball back to the 34-yard line. That's where they'll set up shop. 1st and 10 at their own 34.
Boy, that would have been a great starting position right there to be able to do something. So now we'll see. We'll see the battle of the lines the opposite way.
Marsh wears number 3 for the Titans. Back in the shotgun. Waits for the snap and then gives it over on the far side. And on the run there is 37, and that is Logan Gernolz. And Gernolz picked up some positive yardage on the far sideline.
Looks like right. He got the first down. Oh, no, short of the first down, knocked out of bounds by Luke Padgett right there.
Just short of the first down, so give him 9. 2nd down and 1 here for the Titans. Highmark Stadium, and of course the crowds came in a little late here today. I think they might have opened up the gates a little late on them, but they're in the stadium now. 2nd down and 1 here for Franklinville-Ellicottville. The Titans. Marsh in the shotgun. Once again, it's Gernolz in motion, but they go the other way. And I believe the give here, and there's a late flag coming in. And they're going to call a holding call. So 2 big penalties, Tom, already against this Titans ball club.
And that would have been a stop right there. A big stop there by 74. Jody Frame, the senior 6'2", 250-pounder. Did you see him right on the middle there? Boy, he is going to be somebody they're going to have to contend with so far today. Big boy right there at D-tackle, and he can move. You're seeing him move very quickly already.
So they're going to mark off another 10 against the Titans here. They're going the wrong way, Tom. Unfortunate. At first they had a beautiful punt return nullified by a personal foul. Now a holding call. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and a long 11 here for Franklinville-Ellicottville. Marsh back in the shotgun where it'll probably be around 95% of the time. 2 men in the backfield. And our first pass attempt. Marsh fires and has his man. Beautiful catch there. Number 26, Blake Frank, comes up with the grab and the first down catch.
Wow, nice, quick right there job. You saw, didn't really have to wait, got the ball out of his hands real quickly, and then just let his receiver do the rest right there.
I was watching him warm up, Tom. He had an excellent warm up, did Marsh.
Listen, I go to all my quarterbacks. You hear me talking about a lot of them are baseball players, and here's another one, right? They got guns out there, and Marsh no different. Like I said, here's a kid that just finds a way to do it game after game.
Marsh takes the snap out of the shotgun. Here comes the pressure. He's going to put one up down the right sideline. Has his man down there. Oh, and what a play. Broken up at the last second by Tristan Farmhand, number 2 for Randolph.
Wow, and it looked like he was behind it, and all of a sudden passed him, and that could have been right there in the end zone. What a great pass, though. Marsh really put it right where it needed to be.
Just a half a foot farther, Tom, and he had his man. So it'll bring it back to the 50. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Take a shot. Why not?
Absolutely. Early fireworks we got going in this one, no doubt.
Ball right at midfield here for the Titans. Will Coach Jason Marsh take another chance? Marsh back in the shotgun, waits on the snap here. Man in motion, and now it's going to be, I believe, a delay of game call. And it is delay of game against the Titans. Boy,
that's been what's hurting them early on, right? It's just been literally the flags. It's 3 flags thrown. One, if you remember, on the special teams. Think about that. They would have started. This is where they would have started if it wasn't for that penalty on special teams right there. And then now you take that away and 2 other penalties. This is really what's cost them on this drive.
So 5 yards there for delay of game. 2nd and 15 now. Titans got to watch themselves with the penalties, that's for sure. They picked up 3 quick ones already. Now a motion call, illegal procedure. There's penalty number 4 here, and we're early in this game.
I'll tell you, if we get a chance to talk to Coach at halftime, that you already know what's going to be the theme early on.
Well, I got to tell you, I did a game right off the bat earlier this year. Amherst and Sweet Home, 28 total penalties in that game.
Listen, that won't beat the time we went down to Salamanca and Fredonia. You know I love talking about that game. We found out it was 34 penalties that were thrown in that game, and it was definitely a long day.
So the Yellows coming out here early against the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans. They're looking at a 2nd and 20 here. Marsh back the pass. Here comes the rush. And, that looked like a face mask. And they're going to get some yardage back here. Marsh goes down anyway, but someone grabbed his face mask on the way by, and that's going to cost the Cardinals 15.
So let's see how they call this, because there are only 4 penalties inside high school football that are counted as an automatic first down. It's roughing the passer, it's roughing the kicker, roughing the snapper, roughing the holder. Those are the 4 plays that constitute an automatic first down. I think this will not be called, and it isn't. It's not called an automatic first down because it is just a face mask penalty. It's not a roughing the passer penalty. So that's why you're seeing this is still going to be a 2nd down and 10. They just got back the yardage that they had lost already due to all the other penalties.
So Marsh back in the shotgun once again. 2 receivers out right, 1 out left. Now the man in motion. And he's going to keep it himself. Marsh makes a move and gets out to the 45, crosses the 45, down to about the 44. A nice 6-yard pickup for the senior quarterback.
Did you see how far Hine took this guy out over here? You're talking about playing to the whistle. Right there is playing to the whistle. And that's what you like in any player that's out there in your team. And, both teams, you can already see early on in this one, want this game. And what you've got to like early in this game right now is the time of possession and the way that Franklinville-Ellicottville is controlling the time of possession.
3rd down and let's call it 3rd and 4 here. And it's going to be Hine on the run. Hine way to the outside, cuts back inside, has nowhere to go but made something out of nothing, and it's going to bring up a 4th and short here, and we're definitely in 4th down go territory, wouldn't you say, Tom?
You're close. Granoll's, the one thing on that run for Granoll's, did you see how he kind of kicked it out to the, he went backwards a little bit to go forward? I was wondering if he almost went a little too far backwards on that one, but does a good job of turning it into a gain right here. But you can see it looks like they're going to go for this.
My apologies, it's Logan Gernol's number 37, so they are going for it. 4th and a foot.
Keeper by Marsh.
4th and about a yard here. And now another flag comes in, and let's see, another procedure call. Check that off. That's 5 all on this drive.
I thought that was going to be a keeper by Marsh right there. You were going to see him try to do something with his legs right there. Now you get into that, right? Now we're in that position. Do you go for it, or do we see them actually punt it right now?
Well, they'll probably go for it, but you know what? I would punt. I would try to hem Randolph inside the 10-yard line if I could. And that's not the way these high school coaches nowadays think. Instead, you're giving Randolph a chance to get the ball in great field position if you don't convert this 4th down. 4th and 6, they're going for it.
But a lot don't have the punters to really make a difference in field position.
Marsh waits on the snap. He's back to pass. He's going to look, and he's going to be flushed out of the pocket, throws it away. He threw it to the sideline. His intended receiver was Gernol's coming back for it. They never had a chance, Tom, and they gave Randolph a great drive start at their own 46-yard line.
Though they do say, Mark, sometimes throwing it away or a punt, all those different things is still a positive play right there. And again, we don't know if the punter could have pinned down. That's something that, we always second guess afterwards, right? That's what our job is to do. But I'll tell you that's still not a bad play. Doesn't make a turnover, keeps things positive. Now let's see if Randolph can go ahead and make their adjustment.
The give, it's the first man through, and he picked up about 4 yards. Let's see, that's number 5, and it's Luke Paget. So a quick hitter. where everyone was looking at Hines. And Padgett got the call. So it's 2nd down and 6 here. As we come down to the 6-minute mark in this first quarter. Scoreless quarter here at Highmark Stadium. Under center, Conley. This time Hines gets it. Hines plows his way ahead down to about the 48, 47-yard line. That should bring up 3rd down and 3 here, Tom.
This is, and now you start to think, is they're going to do the same thing? Are they in that 4th down range themselves and get 2 shots at this? But right now, both defensive lines really doing well as to stopping the run. The only thing that really, like we talked about, has hurt Franklinville-Ellicottville so far has been penalties. Right now, we've seen this defensive line, though, really step up Franklinville-Ellicottville and keep Hind at bay.
Conley the give and Hind the carry, and from here it looks like he might just be a hair short. So they're going to bring the sticks in, I'm sure. Well, that's right on.
Oh, that's a good placement, though.
Yeah,
I think they're going to give it to him.
That was a great spot there. And they're gonna, it's 1st down here. So the Cardinals catch a break with a nice spot on that run. It'll move the chains.
Great job, though. Hey, listen, I think Randolph will tell you all day, if we just keep getting 3-4 yards a pop every single time, I'll keep taking the 1st downs and move down the field and control the time of possession. That's exactly what they're starting to do. Just keep getting those yardage, and eventually you better watch out because Hind could pop one.
And once again, they give to Hind, and Hind's going to be brought down. A man who just came in there, number 78, Coda Curtis, had a piece of him there.
He came in from behind. Did you see that? Came from behind and tried pulling him backwards.
This Titans defense can get it done. They've actually got a player out there, 3 sacks himself, is Sterling Syke. Number 79, Sterling Sky. So it's 2nd down here and 8 yards to go. And the give once again to Hind. They bomb him up. He spins around, picks up a couple. And that's about it. It'll be 3rd down. It's pound and ground here.
Oh, no doubt. We knew it was going to be exactly that. We really did. And it looked like on that tackle for Franklinville-Ellicottville was number 69, Caleb Plotz again. Boy, he's been already, we've been calling his name a couple times early in this game, making an impact.
The senior tackle, 6'2", 215-pounder. He's having an active first quarter here. 3rd and 7 here. Another big play early on in this game. The give. And cut down was Hind. He never had a chance. Might have lost a yard. Let's see where they spot this.
Looked like the tackle was number 85, Brad John, the sophomore.
Nice play there by John, coming up, taking his man down. It's 4th down. And now it's decision time here for the Randolph Cardinals coach, Brent Brown.
Oh, they're going to punt.
Yeah, they're going to punt. They're smart. Well, if you can back up a team and force them to go 80, 85 yards, why not? There's the snap, clean snap, punts away, no pressure, end over end kick. It's going to come out and bounce down around the 10-yard line. Look at that bounce for the Cardinals. It rolls all the way down to the 7-yard line. What a punt. Looked like it was going out of bounds, Tom.
Absolutely, and then they just kept rolling right there and does a good job of letting it do what it's supposed to do, and that is keep rolling. But listen, we're going to talk about this constantly, and we're going to talk about it all weekend. Special teams will have an impact in every single game, in every high school game we see it constantly. And there's a special team win right there for Randolph. Does exactly what you need to do, and now you're asking a team to go 93 yards to try to get a touchdown right here. Randolph wants to do everything to keep them down on this side of the field so they can get that great field position and try to do something with still 2:46 left inside the first quarter.
Marsh takes the snap. He's back to pass. Looks was gonna throw it. Now he's gonna be scrambling around out there. Marsh is still looking, and now he throws it away.
Oh, watch out. This is going to be intentional grounding. This will be intentional grounding. There is no outside of the pocket in the throw right here, and you can see it's an intentional grounding call.
Great call, Tom. Yep, the 6th penalty here by the Titans in this first quarter. Intentional grounding, that's a loss of down.
And half the distance to the goal.
So we'll back that up to probably around the 3.5-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and call it 13.
Mark, everybody thinks
Ooh.
it's like the NFL rule, right? Oh, wow, they put
No,
that's more than half the
that's
distance.
not half the distance. They took it from the 7 down to the 1 yard line.
I
Is it
got to
from the
think they're
spot?
going to make an adjustment, aren't no?
That ball should not be at the 1 yard line, Tom. It should be half the distance to the goal. It should be around the 3.5 yard line here. Now the officials are going to try to straighten this out. I mean, that wasn't even a 5 yard penalty. It was a 6 yard penalty.
I'm wondering, and again,
From the
see if
spot?
we get a. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Is it from the spot?
It must be because they put it down at the 1. Tough break for the Titans as Marsh takes the shotgun snap on the run, rolls and completes it, and thrown out of bounds heavily down there was Hine. Number 3 on the tackle, that's Josh Bush, and a little rough on the tackle part.
But good. I mean, they're trying to move the ball out. Granoll's does a good job of right now getting them some room out there, right? Getting him some room and be able to do something. So I tell you, you got to love the way that they love the ball in Marsh's hands because you're letting your quarterback throw from that end zone. Great job, and it shows how much faith they have in this quarterback.
3rd and 11, Marsh is going to hand. Oh, he lost the handoff, fumbled the ball. He's lucky to get back on top of it, and look out. It's going to be 4th down, and it's a punting situation. Will the Cardinals send in everyone to try to get this punt? The exchange was never there to Granoll's, and they're lucky to get that back.
Really are. And you could see Marsh coming off saying, hey, that was on me. Love a quarterback that actually takes the lead, right? Does everything. That's why we talked about this kid so much already. Love this kid's attitude. Love what he brings to this team.
So Hine is back there with Bush to receive this punt. They're only standing at the 35
I was going to just say, they're only 35.
The punt, it's a low liner. Bush is going to pick it up to 37, 30. And across the 25, and he's going to bang down a bounds around the 21-yard line. Let's see where they spot that down there around the 20-yard line. What a great return there. 17 on the return for Josh Bush.
So we talked about it. Why didn't they punt right there? Some people don't have those punters that can really put it down there, and you saw that was only a 30-yard punt when you think about it right there because it bounced part of the way to get to him. So that answers our question early on why they may not have kicked it right there and felt more confident in their quarterback's hands.
Great chance now for Randolph. The ball at the Titans' 20-yard line. And once again, it's the first man through, and that's Luke Padgett, and they bang Padgett up. He picked up a yard.
There's a flag, though.
That was another flag. Yep, you're right.
Came in late, too.
And
face mask, was that what it was?
Yes, face mask against the Titans. That unbelievably, Tom, that's their 7th penalty in this first half. Wow. We'll mark that one off.
That, I'll tell you, is probably the one thing that we can go back and forth on is Franklinville, Ellicottville, if they're going to go ahead and win this game, has got to clean up that side of the ball.
Call it first down now and 4. Back to pass. Conley looks. They're going to wrap him up. Oh, they got him down. No, he's still on his feet. Nope, there's knee touchdown around the 29-yard line. Big sack there.
That's a huge sack right there.
And I believe it was number 78, Coda Curtis. Got in there and dragged this man down. What a sack there for the Titans. They needed that one. With just 55 seconds of running here left in this first quarter. So now the Cardinals are going backwards here. 2nd down and a ton. The give to Hine, and they're waiting for him, and he goes absolutely nowhere. They stuff him down there. 69, Caleb Plotz on that tackle. And the loss of about another 2 or 3 brings up 3rd down and about 19 here. As we're down to our last 9 seconds running this quarter, they're going to let it run out. After 1 quarter of play, no score between Franklinville, Ellicottville, and Randolph. And we're going to get ready to go down to the sidelines now. momentarily here.
Hey, can you hear me, Tom?
We can. Go ahead, Sarah. Tell us what you see down at the field.
What'd you say?
Tell us what you see down at the field.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, let me just drop. I'm trying to get to a point where I can hear you guys.
So, Mark, we're going to go.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break here. We had some technical issues. We'll be right back.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
All right, back here at the Highmark Stadium for the start of the second quarter here as Randolph has the ball. It's a third down play. It's Conway looking, throws, has his man down there, and it's broken up. That pass was intended for number 87, Jaden Huntington. But the Titans defensive backs were back there, and he secured a nice block knockdown there on a great defensive play. So it's fourth down for the Cardinals, who had the ball at the 20-yard line to start this drive. The ball right now on the 29. So it'll be fourth down and 19 here. And Randolph with no choice really but to go and try to convert this fourth down. A long one here. 4th and 19 for Randolph. Looking, Conway throws, has his man, touchdown! Touchdown Cardinals!
And that was Hind.
Xander Hind pulls it in, a beautiful catch, and the Cardinals draw first blood.
We talked about this, right? We said, watch out. Randolph can go to the air. They will go to the air at one point, and here they go. The first time they go to the air, touchdown Randolph.
19-yard TD reception. And it looks like they're going to go for two here. A gutsy call there. It was Conley going right back to the air and found his man in the middle of the field. Now Conley on the run, looks, throws the back of the end zone a little too far and overthrew his man there, intended for Jaden Huntington. So after
and Jaden's 6'4", so if you got that up over him, right? He knew it was a little bit high on that one.
6-0 Randolph here at Highmark Stadium, our Class D championship game after a relatively quiet first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a great throw, great pass. We know this Randolph team's going to score, right? We knew it, and there's the first strike right there. Now is, how does Franklinville-Ellicottville answer? That's the key right now. We've seen them be able to move the ball already. There's no doubt that they can move the ball. But the big question is, can you clean up those penalties? Because you're not going to score with the amount of penalties that you're doing, especially what we saw in the first quarter.
7 penalty calls against this Titans team, against 1 for Randolph. So you're right, Tom. They got to clean that up. Oh, to be a fly on the wall of that locker room at halftime.
Yeah, that's what we said, is that there's no doubt going to be, that is going to be discussed right there. Because, listen, I understand that holding penalties happen, right? Even the face mask, it happens in games. But it's the procedure stuff. That's the stuff that you got to clean up, that you got to make sure don't happen.
I say it's Ryan Carpenter to kick it off here. High kick, end over end. Taken at the 13-yard line, 20, 25. And a nice move there as Grinnell is going to be spun back. And they're going to put it down around the 27-yard line. So Grinnell on a nice return there for the Titans.
I'm going to tell you, how many we've seen this year, offensive linemen, defensive linemen being the kicker, right? We've seen that a lot this season, and we see it again right here with this Randolph team with Ryan Carpenter, 6'1", 290, and that's their kicker right there. Love that. Love the big guys who can kick right there.
Well, the ball at the 26-yard line, so that's when we'll spot it. 1st and 10 for the Titans. In the shotgun. Marsh back to pass. Looks, going to throw right side. Has his man on the far side. Nice move there. And still on his feet. They'll take him down around the 35-yard line. That's a great catch down there by Blake Frank, number 26. A nice pickup of 9 yards there for this Titans offense.
Yeah, really. It looked like it was only going to be about 3 or 4 yard gain. Does a great move to get there. And you almost wonder even if he would have taken off right away after he made that move, if he would have gotten the first down right there.
So great pickup there. Brings up 2nd down and 1 yard to go here for FEville.
You can see they're right now going to the air probably more than we've probably seen a lot from this team, but they are absolutely trusting the arm of Marsh right now.
Marsh is going to keep it himself. Bounces up over to 35, but they nailed him. Looked like he had a chance for the first down. There was a nice hit in there, and I believe it was number 5. Luke Padgett came up and nailed him.
Yeah, a couple guys were in that. I saw Huntington in there too.
No gain there, so it's 3rd and 1. We talk about big plays, Tom. Here's one right here.
Mark, I was just going to say the same thing. I agree 100% with you. You do not want to go 3 and out right now and give this Randolph team the opportunity to try to put more points on the board.
Game time temperature was 51 degrees. Winds out of the southwest at 11 miles an hour. It's only going to get colder here over the next 48 hours or so. On the snap and the give, and it's a first down run for Bo Bilecki. His first carry of the game. Bilecki, the sophomore.
And that was Padgett on the tackle right there again for Randolph. Boy, we're really calling his name on the defensive side of the ball early for Randolph.
Bilecki had a nice season. 3.2 yards a crack. A couple of touchdown runs. He had 50 runs for 161 yards, and now it's a timeout being called by Randolph here. So 10:03 left in this first half. Timeout Randolph. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here with the Class D Championship on WesternNewYorkAthletics.com.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to HowardHanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at HowardHanna.com.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you.
All right, back here for a first down play for the Titans. After picking up that last first down, here we go. Back to pass. Marsh looking. Now he's going to run himself, and he's back to the
ground.
Out the 40-yard, 40, right back to the line of scrimmage. That ball came free, but he was down.
You saw it. He definitely was down. There's no doubt about it. And you can even see nobody even from the other side is even saying that you could see that he was down right there.
So no gain, so it brings up 2nd down and 10 here.
But I'll tell you, I love what you've seen from Randolph so far this year. You're talking about a team that has stepped out of division and won some big games outside of their division and went up in class to win those games. And they're just showing why they're one of the top teams, not only in Western New York, but the state.
Marsh back to pass, looks left side and overthrew his man out down there, and that was intended for Blake Frank, 26. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. A pass that probably should have been caught if it was on target. But it was not, so it is 3rd down. 6-0 Cardinals lead. They scored on a beautiful 19-yard reception by Xander Hine. And now a big 3rd down play here for the Titans. Marsh checks his play sheet on his wrist. Looks back at his receiver. He's going to keep it himself. There goes Marsh, going to try to dart across the 45. Tries to get to the corner 50. Did he get there? No, he didn't. It'll be 4th and very short. And once again, Tom, it's decision time.
Yeah, I think this is going to be short by about a yard, it looks like.
They put it right at the midfield stripe, so it is 4th and 1. And now what do you do?
8:42 left inside the first half. I mean, listen, they went for it once. I won't be surprised they go for it again.
It looks like the offense is staying out there primarily here. Let's see.
So, Mark, real quick, we do have a score update as coming from the small school Monsignor Martin Championship. It is still 0-0 as St. Mary's is taking on Bishop Timon in the championship game over there.
Bishop Timon was fortunate enough to do one of their games this year. And it was a great matchup against Silver Creek.
Yep.
And the Timon team got it done.
Yep, it was their first win, wasn't it? Their first
sure
win of the
was.
year. So, listen, we're to give everybody a rundown so everybody knows what we're going to be dealing with in the next couple days. So, next game, the Jamestown Frontier game, we will not be live for that game. We are going to stay here, and we are going to tape delay it, and we have the ability to put it out tomorrow morning. For those of you that want to watch that game live, it is only on Spectrum. That is the only live game that we will not be doing. Tomorrow we will start at noon, where we will have the C Championship Medina and Fredonia. Then at 3:15 it will be Iroquois and Western New York Maritime. And then at 6:30 it will be Lancaster and Bennett. And then at 6 o'clock we do have the Monsignor Martin Championship, which is St. Francis and Canisius.
There goes Marsh, dives for it and gets the first down. What an effort by Lucas Marsh. 1st and 10 Titans on a great play.
I'll tell you, you heard me when we started this, right? Did I not tell you this kid's a gamer, right? This kid will do everything to put points on the board and to do exactly that, keep his team in the game. I've loved what I've seen from this kid. Really is a great player here in Western New York.
Well, it's a championship game, Tom. You got to give it everything you have.
Absolutely.
You got to leave it all on the field. Every cliche you want to bring up, but that was a great play by Marsh. So they'll put it down at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 Titans. Marsh in the shotgun once again, gets a snap, rolls to the right, looks, throws, has his man, and that's down in the corner, and running that one down there on a nice play, it's Granoles. They'll push him out of bounds around the 38-yard line. Should be enough for a first down where they spotted here. Let's see. Looks like he has it from here. And still no signal yet, but
they're moving the chains, though.
The chain crew is moving, so obviously it's a first down, another first down for the Titans. Playing some clean ball on this drive. They've been bitten by the penalty bug 7 times in this first half, but they're clean right now. 1st and 10 for FEville. Lucas Marsh in control here. The quarterback is going to give it to Paget. Actually, excuse me, that was Bo Balecki on the carry, number 11, and he was tripped up and lost 2 yards.
And then it was Huntington up on the hit right there. Does a great job of following through there.
Oh, it's a 2-yard loss. It brings up 2nd down and 12 here. For the Titans. They look over at their coach, Jason Marsh. Get the play call, and here we go. One receiver out to the left side. Pitch out there. Oh, and taken down on a flying hit. What a play. A smoke tackle there by Josh Bush. Came up and had his man clean. Goodness gracious, Tom. That's the type of hit that you'd like.
This Randolph team, I'm telling you, they can hit. They can play defense. We've seen, this isn't the first hit, right? We've seen a couple big hits already in this one.
But this was definitely the biggest hit of this game. Bush
wait. He's down. We got an injury out here on the field.
Yeah, let's see. It's it is. It's Bo Balecki. The sophomore is down on the field. Is slow to get up.
Why don't we take a quick timeout with him right down? Oh no, he's back up. So let's stay. So we apologize. He's there.
He popped back up. He looks to be okay. But you know what? It was close to being helmet to helmet. I got to tell you on that replay. It was very close.
Well, we got a second, Mark. Let's talk a little bit about that small school Monsignor Martin game. It's 0-0 at the end of the first quarter, right? You want to know, though, I think that's a huge win right there for Bishop Timon.
Oh,
they
absolutely.
played, well, do you realize what the score was the first time they played? 51-0 St. Mary's wins. Timon comes out in the first quarter and holds them to 0. I think that's a huge adjustment right there for Timon, and Timon absolutely doing a great job in that one.
So that brings up third down now and 17 here for the Titans. After 2 negative plays in a row. Marsh takes the shotgun snap, back the pass. Here comes the pressure. They wrap him up, but he gets away. Down to 45, 40, tries to get out of bounds around the 34-yard line. A nice effort there to make it a semi-manageable 4th down attempt here. Talk about making something out of nothing. They almost had him, but he pulled away with some good speed, Tom.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, that's the threat we know that he's got, because he's one of the leading rushers on the team to boot, right? And from the quarterback position. Because of that right there, if he doesn't find his man, doesn't see that opening, he's got the ability to take off and do exactly what he did right there with his legs.
It's 4th down and 6 here. For the Titans, let's see what they come up with. Back to pass. Marsh looks, throws, has his man, and it should be enough for a 1st down.
Wow, that's going to be close, Mark. That's right at the line right there.
Let's see. Grinnell's with a great catch, and then he dove forward. It's right at the spot. They're going to bring in the change. It's an official timeout, and here we go. Now, the key is, Tom, was it a right foot or a left foot spot? Boy, that's real close.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Right when they did that, you were going, whoa, this is going to be a close one.
I'm going to say he's short by a half a football.
The way it's coming out, it looks like it's going to go longer than there, right? See how the lag right there? Oh, boy, this is –
wow, they're taking a look at this
they're
one
both
all the
still
way.
Looking. They're both looking at it.
He calls the Marsh over to quarterback to take a look at it.
It's 1st down, Randolph.
Cardinals ball.
Wow, Mark. We didn't know what way that was going to go right there.
They really stretched them out there. And unfortunately for the Titans, they'll turn the ball over on downs. With 6:16 remaining in this first half. But that was a good, clean drive, and you know, the Titans got something done positive offensively. Unfortunately, they just couldn't convert.
The one was that big loss. That was the play right there that really was what stopped that drive.
So 1st and 10 for Randolph at their own 28-yard line. Conley waits for the snap, gets it. He's going to keep it himself. He's got some room, 30, 35, and he's dragged down. Looked like that could have been a face mask down there. Somebody might have got away with one. Picked up 9.
It looks like in on the tackle there was number 55, Andrew Boyla, the senior defensive tackle, 6'1", 190.
They're going to give him another 1st down, Tom.
Yeah, it looked like that's where it was. Looked like he had gotten in on the second effort right there.
10-yard pickup by Conley. And the junior quarterback moves the chains here for the Cardinals. Well, I'd love to put another one in before the end of this half, that's for sure. They'll get the ball to start the second half. Check that. No, they won't. The Titans will get it. There's a handoff. And now another flag coming in, and this is probably in the area of holding.
No, face mask again?
Another face mask call against the Titans, their 8th penalty of the half. Holy cow.
That's the 3rd face mask, isn't it?
Now it's the 2nd face mask. We did have a illegal chop block earlier. And boy, these penalties are just killing the Titans right now. I mean, it's tough enough to beat your opponent, but you're not going to beat the refs too.
No, and I apologize. It's the 3rd face mask called, though, right?
I believe so. Yes.
You know what I mean? I've never seen that many this early in a game.
So they bring that ball all the way down to their 42-yard line of FEville. Conley is going to keep it himself. There he goes. Across the 30. He's going to go to the end zone. Carson Conley scores for Randolph. He shook a couple of tacklers off down around the 30, 25-yard line, Tom, and pretty much walked in.
And you could see they were keying on Hind on that one. Did you see the shift that went to Hind? And then the hole opened up. Your offensive line opened that hole, and he took care of the rest.
I believe they're going to mark that as a 38-yard run, I believe, for Carson Conley.
Tell you, give Hind the credit as a decoy, give that offensive line credit, and then, of course, give Conley credit for doing the rest. No doubt, does a great job.
Now the give and the fake give, and Conley shut down and around the 1-yard line, so the 2-point conversion fails, but they still have a nice 12-0 lead here with 5:03 remaining in this first half.
And that was Hunter Smith, the sophomore, 5'10", 155 on the stop right there for Franklinville-Ellicottville. You know, that's 2 right now, 2-point conversions that have been stopped. The question is, does that come into play later in this game? Who knows, right? But we talk about that special teams constantly that could really come back and have something that has an impact in any game.
Oh, like I'll tell you, Tom, one thing Randolph likes to do, and that's throw shutouts.
This defense, come on, we've seen it. This defense can hit. This defense is for real. You know what I mean? Like it does. This is really a very well-balanced team. And, you know, for those of you who may not know the landscape throughout New York State, I say this a lot when we do our broadcast and various things. Mark, a lot of times this is more of a state championship game sometimes, and you see the whole stretch run. This is really some of the top D teams in the entire state get to play right here in this sectional championship.
12-0. Randolph out in front, getting ready to kick it off once again. Teeing it up is Ryan Carpenter, the junior.
The big man. I love this.
Boots it. Nice high end over on Kiddick. That's got a chance to get to the end zone. That will. Unfortunately, that ball didn't check up.
Yeah, wow, imagine if they would have given them another real tough field position right there. I mean, even so, even the 20 is still not great field position, right? It's better than it would have been if you were at the 5 or less, no doubt.
Right.
But there has to be an answer from here, right? So remember we talked about it. The first time that these two played, remember we told you that was 14 points that was put up in the first quarter. So obviously Franklinville-Ellicottville didn't let that up this time, but you don't want to make this farther behind. You don't want to keep making this further and further. You've got to right now have a good drive right here.
Back to pass. Marsh looks. He's going to put one up and way out of play. Intended receiver down there was Gano, but that ball never had a chance. Way, way out of play on the far sideline.
So the first time they played, second quarter was won by Franklinville-Ellicottville. They put 20 points up in that second quarter and took the lead 20-16. And then the second half, Randolph owns the second half with 22 points in the second half, 16 in the third, 6 in the fourth. So you got to think with 4:57 right now left in this half, you want to see if you're Franklinville-Ellicottville trying to put points up on the board.
Second 10 for the Titans. Marsh in the shotgun. Once again, back to pass. Looks, and they're going to bring him down. No, he gets out of it. Marsh on the run. How did he get out of that? He's going to put it up in the air, and it is almost caught down there around the 40 or 36-yard line or so. Once again, that's our man, 26, Blake Frank. But how did he get out of that tackle? It's incredible.
How did that even happen? At first I thought Padgett was going to get him. Then you had another player, I didn't get to see the full number right there, hit him, and it looked like he was just about to go to the ground, somehow saves himself in there, and then throws a pass that hits him almost in the hands and the chest area.
Running to his left, throws it with some authority, and it should have probably been caught down there, but it was dropped. So it's 3rd down and 10 here. Lucas Marsh,
if that would have been connected, we would have been calling ESPN right there and said this is going to be one of the highlights that's got to go out.
Well, they're going to take a timeout, and I believe that might be their last timeout here. Let's see. Timeout Titans here with 4:46 remaining in this first half.
It looks like they may have one left right now.
Looking the far scoreboard. And I can't tell.
Yeah. There's one left for Franklinville-Ellicottville, 2 for Randolph left.
I got to tell you something. You feel that temperature coming down there already?
Listen, they're calling. I kept trying to listen to the news and the weather right there, and they were saying this tomorrow. We're on that fringe line right there that could go lake effect snow or lake effect rain, right? I'm going to tell you, tomorrow's going to be one of those where the elements are going to come into play, no doubt about it. And it's supposed to get worse as the day goes on.
Yeah, the rain's supposed to start around 1 or 2 o'clock this morning coming up. It's going to go all day tomorrow. And then it's supposed to stop right before the Class B championship game at 3 o'clock, but I'm sure the field will be awful wet. Possible quarter-inch of rain tomorrow expected. 3rd down and 10 here. Coming out of the timeout for the Titans. Back to pass. Marsh throws right side. Has Gano down there. Oh, he stretched for it and couldn't come up with a catch down around the 47-yard line. What an effort, but it's incomplete. And there's no doubt about it right now, you have to punt.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Down there was Joey Frame exchanging some pleasantries down there with one of the Titans on the offensive line. So they'll set it down, 4th and 10. And we're going to find out what this punter has right now because they shanked his first punt.
And Mark, 4:38 still left in this. This is still more than enough time for Randolph to still try to put more points up on the board, too.
I believe it's Isaac Goss to punt this away. No, it's not. It was Glenn Nuzio to punt it, and boy, that's a nice punt there. Could have been picked up there by one of the Cardinals. That's Hind, and he let it roll all the way down to the 35-yard line. What a great punt.
He's that line drive. That's the same. It was very similar to the punt that we saw, as you know, early. Remember that it went about 30 yards. It was that line drive that kind of went out there. And sometimes you see sometimes they take weird bounces when you got that, the way it hits the turf. That's the bounce that he wanted right there to be able to put Randolph down inside into the territory a little bit and not have phenomenal field position.
Surprised Hind didn't at least jump on it to stop that. It would have saved about 5 or 6 yards. Instead, he let it roll down. 1st and 10 at their own 35 for the Cardinal. Hind on the carry, left side, 35, 40, 45, and he's going to be spun out of bounds down around the 46 or 7-yard line. That's going to be a first down for Randolph. So a nice first play to start this drive, Tom.
Yep, and I'll tell you, that's the runner that we all know about. That's the runner that should be up for one of the Conley Cup finalist awards as our player of the year. I'll tell you, he's earned that right. There's still, of course, I'm not on the committee, and I don't know exactly what the votes are, but this kid right now has earned to be in that conversation.
22 carries for touchdowns this year. Tremendous year. On the give, once again, it's Hind once again picks up another 5, and he's starting to feel it right now.
And that's what starts to happen. Get in a groove right there. The tackle right there was number 61, Ethan Frank on that one.
Dakota Curtis checks back in the game, number 78 for the Titans. Looking for a little weight up there up front. 6'1", 240 defensive tackle. 2nd down and 5. And the give once again. Hind left side. Hind looks for some room, goes to the corner, buries the chain over there. Let's see the flag. That went down. And the chain crew guy got out of the way there as Hind was trying to take that corner. I think he might have got there. He might just be a half-yard short on the far side of the field.
I've got a scoring update for us coming from the St. Mary's Timon game. St. Mary's has now taken an 8-0 lead over Timon. Jaden Wilson connects with Marcus Johnson over the middle for a 16-yard touchdown. 5:09 left to play in the second quarter.
3rd down and about a half a yard here. The quick give, and that's Paget. He's still on his feet. Down inside the 30-yard line, or down inside the 35 and about the 31-yard line. Luke Paget with a quick hitter.
Yeah, great job right there. Keep the sticks moving, right? And still more than enough time. 3:27 left. There's more than enough time for them to try to put more points up on the board.
Plenty of time here. Randolph trying to put an early nail maybe in this ball game. A lot of football left here tonight, but right now they're taking over. First and 10 from their Titans 31 here. And they self-carry himself there was Josh Bush on the Wildcat. Looked like it might have been.
On the tackle, though, was number 33, Hayden Treatley, the junior defensive end, 6 foot, 185-pounder.
No gain. Actually, they might have lost a half a yard. Call it 2nd and 11 here. And once again, it's Hine on the carry, far left side. And they take him out of bounds hard down there on the 29-yard line or so. Picked up a couple. That clock continues to run here.
I'll tell you, it would be a win for Franklinville-Ellicottville just to right now, I think, keep them out of the end zone, try to keep this a 12-point game. But Randolph, you know they're going to do everything they can right now to see something happen. I will not be surprised to see them go to the air right here to try to make a big play. This is right about the area they threw that touchdown, if you remember.
Well, he did go out of bounds, so they stopped the clock with 2:20 here. 3rd down and 8 for the Cardinals. And it is Bush out of the Wildcats, going to keep it himself. 25, 20, 15, 10, down inside the 5-yard line. What a run by Josh Bush. I thought he came in earlier out of the Wildcat situation. That's a nice 1-2 combo, Tom.
It really is. And he literally carried some of the defenders right there. What a great run and what a great job. I thought he was going to actually get in the end zone there the way he ran the ball.
So Conley comes back in, but Josh Bush, the senior, did the job there.
So, folks, you want to stay with us at halftime. Right at halftime, we're going to go to the sideline right now and get a sideline report at then. And then we've got a big halftime show we'll talk about here in a second.
Conley under center. First time today, really. He's going to give it to Hine, and Hine's going to score. Touchdown, Randolph. Xander Hine does it again. His 2nd score of the game.
Boy, when you got a threat like this, it's running all over the place. I mean, this really has been the complete team that we've seen, and especially when you get an opportunity to run behind this line that we've seen do so well today for Randolph.
What a great drive that was, Tom. They put it together around midfield and really started hammering the ball away, winning positive chunks of yardage. And then, of course, the big play by Bush. They're going to go for 2 once again here.
And a couple big runs early by Hine to start it off, if you remember.
And it's Conley going to pitch it out. Hine, and he stopped. And that was a nice play there. 36 White came up with it, and that's Hunter Smith.
That's his 2nd stop on the 2-point conversion, too.
So another 2-point conversion try is denied. They've missed all 3 of them, but they're still up here 18-0 with just 1:44 left in this first half.
So we're going to have a halftime show that we're going to go. We're literally going to go. We're going to go to the sideline, quick to our sideline reporter, Sarah. We're going to come back, and it'll be like a minute commercial really quick, and then we're going to go to the Logistics Plus halftime show where it'll be Frank and Francis and Joe Daniel, and they're going to be over there, and they're going to give you everything you have right there at halftime that you need to know, just like a halftime show you would normally see if we were doing this right on TV. So you got to stay with us at halftime. You're going to get a chance to see the halftime show.
You mean they're not down on the field?
Nah, they're in another area right now in the stadium. We're going to get a chance to go to another area.
What a nice setup.
Got some of the best. Come on. You got Francis over there. You got Frank, Joe Daniel. I mean, we got everything going on today. So we're going to have the halftime shows. And then at the end of the game, they'll do a post game at the end of this, too. Woo. We got it all, Mark.
Plenty of coverage. 5 games for you. 5 games this weekend. 2 tonight, 3 tomorrow.
Oh, 6? Got to count St. Francis Canisius in there.
That's right. You forgot. There's the end-over-end kick by Carpenter. That ball's going to spin down. It's taken down around the 12-yard line and on the run now. Number 11, that's Bill Bilecki. Bilecki looking for yardage, and he might find something out of it. 40, 45, one man to beat, and they're going to drag him out of bounds down around the 44-yard line. Talk about a shot of life into the arm of the Titans. That's exactly what they needed.
Peyton Slade, first of all, saves a touchdown. There's a couple things. I can't believe there wasn't a flag thrown on that one, right? With all them running back and forth that was there. But you thought this was going to be a play that was going to turn into be where he wasn't going to make it to the 20-yard line. And Bilecki does everything possible with the legs right there to almost turn it into a touchdown.
The sophomore almost sprung it. They're going to put the ball down at the 45-yard line of Randolph, and here we go. 1:29 remaining for this Titans offense. They desperately need a score here before the end of the first half. They'll get the ball back at the start of the second half. Can they do the old 1-2 punch here? As I like to call the scoring double. Back to pass. Marsh looks. Here comes the rush, and they bury him. Back at the 48-yard line, a loss of 7 yards. And who was in on that play? I believe it was number 59.
Yeah, 58. Elile Bryan right there was one of the ones. 59. Dylan Schrader was there, but it looked like 58. Elile Bryan was the first one in on there.
Right.
Sophomore, right? Defensive end, 5'10", 210.
Like my dad likes to say, Tom, meet at the quarterback.
They really did, too. Boy, I'll tell you, this Randolph defense just shows how tough they are. And they've come up with constant big plays in this one.
In the shotgun. And they're simply going to hand it off, and they're waiting for him again. And this time, no chance for escape. Joe Nottingham, number 21 on that tackle. Boy, they read that one.
Did a great job. Did you see how he rode the defender right there, right to the run? Did a great job of making sure he stayed right in that play.
And I think the Titans are going to let this thing run down and run out of here. They'll get the ball to start the second half. You know, after that great kickoff return, I thought they may try a shot down the field anyway.
They didn't really have much time to get a shot down the field right there.
Well, I'd call a timeout, try to take a chance on one.
Well, you wonder if this coach wants to talk this one over, right? Fix some stuff right up here. So we'll see exactly what happens. Yeah, but I think they're going to be happy going into halftime, like you said.
That's the end of the first half. After one half of play, Randolph 18, Franklinville, Ellicottville, no score. You're watching.
We're going to go right down to Sarah for a quick report with the coach.
Let's go to Sarah.
Sarah, go ahead.
Hey, don't get that back. I mean, we've been back before. We can come back. Thanks so much. Back.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much for that. The Forestville coach, Franklinville coach down there, Jason Marsh. A couple of quick questions, and of course, obviously, he wants to get back in their locker room and do some real talking.
Absolutely, no doubt. So we're going to take a quick break, Mark, right? And we're going to go to a quick commercial
Jeremy,
as we get ready to go right to our halftime show with Francis, Frank, and Joe.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to wnyImmediatecare.com for more information.
You're on, Francis.
All right, welcome into the Logistics Plus halftime show. We're at Highmark Stadium of the Class D Section 6 Championship, and it's right now, it's the undefeated Randolph Cardinals leading Franklinville Ellicottville 18-0 at the half. Guys, Frank, let's be honest, the Titans put up a fight first couple drives. They forced a Randolph 3 and out on the Cardinals' first drive, but as the second quarter kind of came and went on, Randolph's really taking control of this game.
Yeah, Randolph capitalized on great field position after the Franklinville-Ellicottville punt. There's about 7 minutes left in the quarter, and they took advantage of that field position. They got the first touchdown of the game. Player for me that I've kept my eye on is Josh Bush, number 5. He had a big hit in the second quarter, and then he responds with a 58-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, I think that was a big point of the game, and I think Tom made the point on the broadcast. Is I think the Titans were so focused on Hind and Pageant, they kind of forgot about Bush, and he just kind of takes off for that big play, and that was when the momentum really started to get going because I mentioned the Titans were kind of in this one towards the beginning.
Yeah, they got off to a great start. Randolph was forced to punt the first 2 times they had the ball. And then the last 3 drives, they've gotten touchdowns. That run, well, it really started with that 29-yard touchdown pass on 4th and 19 and just had Hind wide open on it. So that just got him off to a good start. They got great field position on a couple other drives. The Josh Bush run was great. I mean, this is a team that scored, 5-7 touchdowns last week. They put up points, and they just do it so methodically. And then once again, Hind with a 3-yard touchdown run, they really controlled the last 6 minutes of that game. As you can see, Ellicottville has struggled defensively. They want to stop the run, and they have not done that here in the second quarter. And then you talk about their quarterback, Ellicottville, no time. He's getting great pressure here from Randolph, and Randolph really can pressure the quarterback, and we saw that in this first half.
How many times did we see Marsh kind of go back and forth in the backfield? He got out of a few sacks. Remember that one play that was down towards the tunnel end that he got out of 2 sacks just he had to throw it away because he had no one downfield to make. I believe the pass went to a receiver who was out of bounds, but he did he's doing a great job. He just isn't getting much help from his offensive line.
That's the story so far, France. I do have some numbers here. Thank you very much. We've got Kyle Hinsdale actually in town. He's helping us out with some stats today. Rushing, 36 yards for Franklinville. Ellicottville, 48 passing for the Titans. Randolph, 131 rushing, 29 passing. The 131 rushing yards, that's indicative of this Randolph team. I mean, they've been a rushing team all year, and they're Franklinville-Ellicottville did a pretty good job containing the run early in this game, but it's starting to get out of hand a little bit right now. They're going to have to make some adjustments on the defensive side of the ball. Marsh, he's a warrior. He is a tough player, old school. He's doing what he can, but he doesn't have a lot of time to work. So they're going to have to find some more time to give him some more room to operate. 3 touchdown game, for instance. That's tough to overcome, especially with the way Randolph can run the ball and control that time of possession. I wish I can get the time of possession. You should see that on the screen when they return. Our graphics guy put that in for us. Marsh, you feel bad because he's, for all of them, they're playing hard. They're playing as tough as they can. But that Randolph team is just they're special. They're a special group this year.
Yeah, they really are. If you think about how well they're running the ball and how well they do so easy, they ran it for 35 times last week for 270. Had the 5 touchdowns with Hind, and he got Paget and Birch. And when you have that, all those 3 different runners, it's just a wave, and just no one gets tired out there. And when you're controlling the clock, as you see with Ellicottville in the second quarter, they just ran out of gas. And they really need to get some offense going, and they got to get a good offensive drive the first time to touch the ball in the second half. It's still only a 3-score game. They've struggled, but they're not out of it yet.
Yeah, I do think you're right. That first drive is going to be very key. They really need to get some points. I don't think it especially with the way Randolph operates, Franklinville can get back in the game, but they don't score in that first drive. And, we talked about it. Randolph is built perfectly for this second half. I don't know. I forget who's going to get the ball first for the second half, but if Randolph gets it first in their drive, a guy like Luke Pageant, I mean, we saw it. There was a play in the second quarter kind of late that he kind of just broke a couple of tackles. There was a Franklinville player on the ground. It looked like he had him wrapped up, and Luke just went through it. He's kind of that bowling ball type. He kind of reminds me, different position, kind of reminds me of Keyshawn Beal from Cheektowaga a couple of years ago. Kind of that bowling ball, short guy, hard to bring down. And Pageant up the middle is going to be perfect. And then you saw a little bit of it, that triple option with Connolly and Hind on the outside. that is going to be really tough for the Titans to stop in the second half.
Like we said in the pregame show, you know what you can get, what you're going to get out of Alexander Hines. You know what you're going to get out of Padgett. Who else from Randolph was going to step up today and, you know, have themselves a game? And Bush is certainly one of those guys that is doing it. But also number 87 on defense for Randolph, that's Jaden Huntington. Keep your eye on him, too. He's been all over the field. He's been making tackles today like he normally does, but he's a big, tough player for Randolph, someone they count on. And he's having himself a pretty good game out there, too. So keep your eye on that. He's like a freight train.
Yeah, Huntington, 74 total tackles coming into this game. Also has a couple of picks. We really haven't seen that many turnovers. So clean game there. I know there were some penalties earlier, which kind of slowed the pace. But I think
on Ellicottville, really, it just killed them. They're leading the way in penalties. And then if you think about it, their best player is Marsh. And guys, he's not getting any protection, right? They're getting in there so quick. He had 67 carries for 269 yards, 3 TDs. I mean, this is a quarterback to throw for over 1,000 yards, 23 TDs. But we saw with Josh Allen last week, if you don't have the time and the protection, can't do much. And he's been running for his life, and that's what's really hurt them offensively. But credit is due to Randolph defensively, and Randolph really has had a great defensive season.
I could see them trying to get into the ball to Grinnell's from Franklinville, Ellicottville. I could see him coming through and having a big second half here for the Titans and, you know, for Marsh and for Grinnell's. And they're going to need that. They're going to need those two guys to pick up the slack here on offense and see if they can't move the chains and get a quick score, a turnover, whatever. They got to change the momentum, and they got to do it quickly.
All right, I think that will do it for us right now. You're watching the Logistics Plus halftime show. Stick around, though. We're going to Mark Johnson and Tom Prince will be back with second half action here from Highmark Stadium.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYimmediatecare.com for more information.
Does he do car? Forget about it. How about home? Forget about it. Does he get good rates? Forget about it. And you're saying there's no problem too big for this guy? Forget about it. Paul, this is Johnny, the guy we've been talking about. Johnny, this is Paul Wolf.
Mr. Wolf, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for the invite.
Not a problem. It's Paul, not Mr. Wolf.
Oh, sorry, Paul.
Johnny, forget about it. For all your insurance needs, call 835-WOLF. And
All right, Mark Johnson back with Tom Prince, a halftime show. And Tom, 18-0, Randolph out in front.
And it's exactly what we talked about, right? Mainly by the run, one big pass for one of the touchdowns. But, boy, I'll tell you, this Randolph team, though, has been doing it on both sides of the ball. Not only have they been doing it on the offense running it, that defense is something out there, right? We're seeing hit after hit after hit. These guys can play some defense, too.
Tom, if you're the Titans defense, how do you contain Mr. Hind?
I thought they did early in the game, right? But when you've got that defensive or that offensive line that's just going to keep pushing, as this game gets farther and farther, it's going to be tough to be able to do something defensively to stop him because it's that offensive line that you're seeing really starting to control things. But you saw on some of the plays, Hind in a way is almost helping some of the other runners and his quarterback really get open out there. You saw a couple fakes to Hind and the whole defensive goes after Hind, and then you're watching the holes open up and other things happen. And it's Hind really having an impact on this game, not only by running the ball, but also making sure that he's a decoy for someone else to be able to run the ball.
Now your Franklinville, Ellicottville, your offense, Lucas Marsh playing his heart out. What does he have to do to try to, first of all, get his team on the board, and secondly, try to come back in this game?
You see, they're trying to do more by the air. They're definitely trying to go to the air, and he really has just done. There's been some plays out here that we just thought were absolutely amazing that Lucas Marsh did, and he, like you said, is putting the team on his back. He's really going to have a couple players right now step up and really help him, take on the next step. What Franklinville-Ellicottville's got to do in this second half is come out with a score right away. You cannot go 3 and out. You go 3 and out early in this one, and you could really be watching this game get out of hand very quickly because that Randolph team's looking to come down and score right away. But Franklinville-Ellicottville, put points up on the board, have that second quarter like you did in the first time. Remember, you played them before. You put 20 points up in the quarter before. You're capable of doing it. Now you've got to do it. It's got to happen in this quarter right here.
All right, we'll be back for second half action of the Class D Championship right here from Highmark Stadium. Stay tuned with WesternNewYorkAthletics.com. We'll be bringing you the action upcoming.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you. Western New York Immediate Care provides quick, quality care for non-emergent injuries and illnesses. Go to WNYImmediatecare.com for more information.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, large or small, call 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab right away. If you are in pain or just sore, don't take chances. Call RES today and take advantage of their 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. With no copays, RES will help navigate the confusing world of no-fault insurance with you, so you can concentrate on getting better. 681-4088. RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. The most important call you can make after an auto accident.
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Call 835-WOLF. Remember, you calling the wolf. That's all you had to say. Call today.
All right, back live here at Highmark Stadium for the start of the second half of the Class D Championship. Mark Johnson back with Tom Prince. And Tom, boy, I tell you, the Titans got their work cut out for them, down 18-0.
You know, and they knew this was going to be a ball game. They knew this was going to be, an absolute fight out there on the field. And but I love what I just saw there, right? They're not down. They're not showing that they're out. They're trying to get their fans into it. That tells you right there. Coach went in halftime, got their heads ready, right? Said we're in for a battle in the second half. We got to clean up some of these penalties. There's no doubt about that. We got to clean up the penalties, especially those face mask ones, and now go after and put points on the board and do it quickly.
8 penalties on the Franklinville team in that first half to just 1 penalty for Randolph. And it's Carpenter to set up the ball and get ready to tee it off here and get this second half started. Ryan Carpenter is going to step forward and put his foot to the ball. He's had 3 actually pretty good kickoffs here. Here's kickoff 4. There's another high end over end. And it's Bilecki at the 15, 20, 25, 30. And he's going to be pulled out of bounds down there around the 34-yard line or so. So a decent drive start here for the Titans.
We do have a scoring update for you in our other game. St. Mary's right now leads 16-0 over Timon at halftime.
And I'm going to go out and say stick a fork in them, they're done.
Well, I'll tell you, you also have a game that's going on over there that you have Christian Lewis for St. Mary's trying to go after right now the rushing title for St. Mary's. That's so right. 2 big rushers that we're talking about, Hind here and Lewis over there.
So they put it down at the 35-yard line. Titans have the ball, 1st and 10. Marsh back to pass. He's going to have to do a lot of passing this half, that's for sure. Now he's going to step up and try to run, and he's going to pick up a couple yards as he's forced out of bounds down there on the 38-yard line or so. So pickup of 2 or 3. They're going to mark it at the 38. So give him 3, make it 2nd and 7. Highmark Stadium, the site of 5 games here this weekend, including our game coming up next. It's Jamestown and Frontier.
Wow, that was, and I hate that we can't do this live, but we'll get, you'll hear our broadcast. We're going to put it out first thing tomorrow morning, but I'm going to tell you, this is going to be another smash mouth football. These teams can play defense again, just like we're seeing right here from Randolph.
Marsh keeps it again. He picked up 4. Now he picks up a first down as he gets up the near midfield. A nice run there by Lucas Marsh to move the sticks here for the Titans. And as you mentioned, Tom, on this opening drive, they need to go down and they need to cash in.
And what'd we say? Lucas Marsh, you're going to need to put this team just like you've been doing on your back, right? And it's been 2 big runs already we've seen early by him that he's really trying to do what he can.
So it's 1st and 10, ball at their own 49-yard line. FEville trying to get something going here. Lucas Marsh back in the shotgun. Back the pass. Looks like he was going to try a screen. They're going to run him down. They drag him down back at the 42-yard line. A loss of 7. And I believe that was Paget in on that tackle again, number 5. What a game he's having.
It was actually 50 was the one in on that tackle right there for Randolph, and it looks like we don't have a 50, right?
No.
That never fails.
I'm not sure.
But it was 72 that was the first one. It was David Malone that got there.
Let's see here.
Thought it was 72.
Yeah, David Malone might have got on in that play. Okay, Eddie, regardless, it's a long way to go here. 2nd down and a ton. 17 for this Titans team. And on the run, Ganoles tries to turn the corner looking for some blocks. He's just going to be bashed out of bounds and taken down hard on the near sideline, right around the 45-yard line or so. And that'll bring up another long 3rd down here, 3rd and 13. That'll make it 3rd and 14 here. So he picked up 3 yards. Ball right at the 45, Tom.
We talked a little bit about Lucas Marsh and, whether he can run the ball. You got to remember, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys on this team that have over 100 yards rushing. And Lucas Marsh leading the way with 269. But Nuzzo 116, Bilecki 161, Slavinsky 114, Wyatt 107, and Granoles 155.
Marsh steps up, throws, has his man, but he overthrows him. He had Garneau breaking right down the middle of the field. He overthrew him by 6-7 yards. Well, that'll bring up 4th down. And it's decision time once again for head coach Jason Marsh.
Boy, that would have been the strike right there. That was the opportunity that they had, I thought, to put points up on the board. And you saw Granols right now take off. And we said early in this game, that was a name we were going to be talking about in this one. And he almost comes up big right there.
Iannuzo back at his own 32-yard line to punt it away here. So the Titans couldn't do what they needed to do. There's a short snap, and Gano came up with it. And another nice roll here, but this taking on the run, it's Paget, and Paget's cut down at the 19-yard line. Boy, he paid the price for that one, Tom.
Looked like that was 61. Did you see that come in right there?
That's Ethan Frank.
And we talked about him a bunch of times today, but he looked like he came in and got that one arm right there and took him right out.
Well, spotted at the 20-yard line, so that's where the Cardinals will set up shop. 1st and 10 from their own 20, and an 18-point lead to boot.
Big defensive stance right now for Franklinville-Ellicottville. You've got to stop. You cannot have Randolph go all the way down the field. And Randolph right now looking to drop the heads, looking to do it right here.
That was Bush who took that snap, and he gives it over on the far side, and it's Zander Hine doing what he does best, getting to the outside over there. Plenty of yardage on that run, and that's another 1st down for the Cardinals.
The last 2 drives, you've really seen Hind right now really turn it up. And you can see if he gets out to the outside, that's what he's looking to do. He's looking to be the first one to get out to the outside and break that one right up the sidelines.
So we'll put that ball down at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10, Randolph. And they would love nothing more than to march down the field and put an exclamation point on this game, even though it's still early in the 3rd quarter. The give is once again, and then stuffed down at the 30-yard line. Bush on the carry, but he went absolutely nowhere. 4-yard loss.
And Plotz and Frank both in on the tackle on that one for Franklinville-Ellicottville.
Well, what the Titans need right now, Tom, somehow they got to get a turnover.
Yeah, listen, I even think a 3-and-out is going to be okay if they can do this, right? If they can get there and somehow get decent field position, I think they're okay there too. You start giving up 1st downs, though, after 1st downs, it's going to be long.
Hine on the run to the left side, escapes one tackler, slips out on the outside. Now he tries cutting back inside. And he'll take him down around the 35-yard line. All that for a gain of about 2 yards. Probably the hardest 2 he's had all year.
And I think you're going to give him a little bit even more than that. Looks like it's going to be about 4 yards. See that? Right there, he turned out what looked like it was going to be a loss right there of yards. Turned into a 4-yard gain.
Yeah. So mark that ball at the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 8 here. I'm impressed with this blocking unit for the Cardinals. No offensive holding calls on this team. They're just playing smash mouth football. And the carry himself, that's Bush. And Bush picks up a 1st down. What a play. Josh Bush, the senior, kept it himself up the middle, and they'll move the chains once again, Tom.
Great there job, and you can just see he was going to do nothing but get to that 1st down marker.
They'll put that ball down at the 45-yard line of Randolph. And the Cardinals are moving once again as Conley's back in the ball game. Here we go. But it's going to be Bush again in the shotgun taking it. So Conley's lined up down there, but it's Bush, the snap and the give. The Hine, 50, 45, ticks the corner, 40, 35, and pull down out of bounds. With a possible horse collar tackle down there. They didn't call it. They're going to bring it down around the 32-yard line. Another big gainer.
Yeah, that was close. That was right in front of us, which is why we saw that. Did you see the hole that was opened up that Hind ran through? That was all your offensive line. That hole was so big that he saw that he took off to. He wasn't even going to be touched until 5 yards after that line of scrimmage. Give that offensive line right now on the right side credit, because that's where that run came from.
Could have put a dump truck through that hole. What a run by Hine.
I want to give some of these offensive line guys some credit, too. over on the right side. Let's see if we could pick up some of those numbers right there.
The give once again to Hine. Hine stretches out the field. This time they might have him bottled up. And there's a holding call coming in. So another penalty coming in. Our first penalty of the second half, and just the second penalty on Randolph, as Hine was trying to make something happen on the far side of the field here. Referees will sort it out. It was a loss of 1, I believe. Well, actually, I was going to say it was a gain of 1, but the holding call from the spot of the foul. So that'll back up the Cardinals.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize about the holes. It's not 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. It's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So this is going to be a 12-yard penalty, not a 10-yarder.
And the referees will mark that ball all the way back to the 44-yard line.
So some of those linemen, I just saw 79, Sterling Sky out there. We talked about Ryan Carpenter, number 65, as one of those big linemen that are out there. We'll get you some more names. These linemen deserve some credit out there. There's no doubt about it.
First down now on 22 here for the Cardinals. Waiting on the snap, and he's going to try to carry it himself. And is that Conley or Bush? Let's see. I believe it was Bush. It is Bush, and he did not get much. He might have picked up a yard, and that's it.
Two more of those linemen for Randolph. Elisle Bryan, the sophomore, 5'10", 210-pounder. Jacob Dexter, number 52, the 6-foot, 170-pounder.
Actually, he lost a yard. Second down at 23. Well, the Cardinals are going backwards here after a nice drive start. Carson Conley back in the shotgun. He's got Paget lined up to his left side. Two receivers out each side. They give it to Paget. They're waiting for him. They didn't fool anyone on that play. And look out, there he is, the big man, Curtis, number 78 on the tackle. Ethan Frank also in there.
And
as well.
Plotz was in there too.
Boy, we've been calling their names all night. They're hanging in there.
Frank and Plotz have been unbelievable defensively.
They are hanging in there. Down 18, they know they got to stop this drive if they want any chance in this ball game. A big third down play here. Another loss of 2. 3rd and 25 for the Cardinals. Conley in the shotgun. 2 men out to each side. And back the pass. Conley looks, fires, puts it up in the air, up for grabs. It's picked off around the 15-yard line. What an interception there. Number 11, Pilecki comes up with a big one. Well, let's see if that jump starts this Titans offense.
That's that turnover you asked for, right? Said, hey, did they get a turnover? And we said you can't keep having those first downs happen. Big stops right there. What was a part of that big stop? First time the penalty goes the other way, right? And I'll tell you, we talk about it a lot. That penalty, that holding penalty can hurt a team so bad. We've seen holding penalties that can go for as much as 20 yards sometimes, especially when a play gets broken up and you see a quarterback running right out there. It could be a penalty that really affects a drive.
So that interception will put it down at the 15-yard line, and here come the Titans trying to run their way out of there, and they pick up about a yard, and that's all. You could take a look at that interception time and say, well, it's almost like a punt. And
Agreed.
But either way, well, actually picks up a half yard. Boy, that's a tough half yard. So 2nd and a long 9 here for the Titans. Now I'm going to move it back up to the 16-yard line. So call it 2nd and 9. You talk about a big drive here. Somehow they have to put something together and get on the board. Marsh back in his shotgun there. It was Smith in motion, but Marsh takes the pain down there. What a play. 87 came up with it, and that is Huntington with a nice tackle.
He's another name we've called constantly, right? It's funny. You've been hearing the theme of some of the guys that we've really talked about multiple times. And I'll tell you, Huntington coming out from that middle linebacker position, 6'4", 205, he really has just done some damage on the defensive side of the ball.
3rd and 11 now for FEville. Boy, they're got to get something going here after coming up with that interception. They're facing a tough 3rd down conversion right now. Marsh, Gano in motion. Instead, they're going to hand it off up the middle and trying to slip out of there. Nowhere to go is Bilecki. Got back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. 4th down.
That was Padgett again coming up on the tackle right there.
Playing great tonight, but that was a passing situation. Kind of surprised to see the run there.
I got to be with you on that one, Mark. I was surprised to see the run there. I thought if they would have run, it would have come because Marsh didn't have his open man and would have run off that. That would have been the play I would have thought there that we would have seen right there. But this is going to give Randolph unbelievable field position. Look where they're standing right now.
Yeah, two back men there at the 47-yard line. Nuzzo, high snap, gets the punt off, and it's going to be a line driver, and it's going to go, bounce around the midfield and be touched at the 49-yard line. So Logan Gurno touched that ball down there for the punt team, and that's going to be an excellent drive start once again for the Cardinals at their own 49.
Can the Franklinville-Ellicottville defense right now come up with another big stop? They have to right here to keep their team right now in this game. They got to right now try to get something quick happen to get that ball to their offense to start making something happen. Won't be surprised we see a lot more of Marsh, right? You really start to see the ball get run through him a lot more to even get run through him even than what we're seeing now.
And the handoff, Conley to Hind, bounces out to the outside, 50, crossover to 45, and he's dragged out, and now another penalty flag coming in. We could have if this is another face mask, it was thrown in the, actually technically
it came in late,
backfield.
Right? Yeah, you came in late like that, so you wonder if it was. Nope, it's going to be a hold.
So it's a hold call against Randolph. That's just their 3rd penalty of the game. So the Cardinals shooting themselves in the foot here a little bit off a nice run play there. But once again, it's going to have to come down to a turnover or something to try to spark this Titans team. They're playing tough right now. They're hanging in there, down 18-0.
So at the end of the 3rd quarter, we're going to try going back down to our sideline reporter, Sarah, see if we can hear what's going down at the field level down there.
The give is to Hine, and Hine makes his way out to about midfield or so. Picked up 4. So that's going to be 3rd down, and let's call it 10 for the Cardinals. As this clock continues to tick away here down to the 3-minute mark.
And I'll tell you, this is one when a team can run the ball like we know Randolph can, you can own right now the time of possession. You really can control this game just by having some long, methodical drives right here.
It's actually 3rd down here to Linesberg over there, headed 2nd down. There's a little flip-out screen pass, and that's Padgett. And Padgett makes a great play there. He smashed his man out of bounds, Bilecki, and got the 1st down.
No, there's flag out in the field. See it right about the 44-yard line.
I did not see the flag there. Boy, what a nice play that was by Padgett, though. Took that nice swing pass out, and he had some territory.
That 3rd down, though, has been big for Randolph today, right? The conversions on 3rd down, especially some of the longer ones.
Another holding call on the Cardinals. That's their 4th. And I believe, well, obviously you have to take the penalty. That yard line marker on the opposite side, I believe, is incorrect here. Let's see.
It looks like about 14, right? 2nd and 14. Is that what you got, Mark?
Yeah, the line of the gain is the 41-yard line. Ball spotted at their own 45. And I'm sure they're just going to give another go at a run here. Carson Conley under center. Gives it first man throw. There's busting away. It's Hine again. What a run there. Hine picks up the 1st down. What a run by Xander Hine. He put his head down and just buried his man.
Mark, I can't believe the hit he absorbed at that line. Did you see the hit that came up there? He absorbed that hit and just took off after it. I can't believe that. And I apologize, Mark. I interrupted you on that one. It literally was that bang, that hit. And I couldn't believe it. I thought it was going to be a tackle for a loss right there, and he comes right out after it.
Big first down for the Cardinals. Ball at the 38 of the Titans. 1st and 10. Conley under center. And a quick hitter to Paget. Paget picks up 5-6 yards. I love that quick hitter. First man through. Number 5 in red, and he's done a great job tonight on both sides of the ball.
He really has. Paget has made his impact in this game, and no doubt about it. And it's tough sometimes when you have a kid, you know what I mean, a player that's got so much recognition like Hind has, that you feel like you're not getting yours. But I'll tell you, he's earning his recognition tonight.
Paget gets the carry again on another quick hitter. And he's right at the first down marker. Let's see where they put this one down here, Tom. It's going to be right on the marker, right on. I think he's got it by half a foot.
I think they're going to give it to him, yep.
They do. They'll move the chains again, and the Cardinals are doing exactly what they need to do. Try to run out this third quarter, not give up any points. And when they start the fourth quarter, have the ball in excellent position. But this is the type of field position right now, Tom, where they might try a pass up the middle. That they've been successful in that first half with it. Conley was just going to hand it off again. Paget again. He stays on his feet. Picked up 3 tough yards down to the 25-yard line. Tough run there by Luke Paget, the senior, 6'1", 180-pounder, banging away here on this drive. Down to almost 30 seconds left here in this third quarter. Let's see if they're going to probably have to get off another play here. I want to thank Tim Gardner, our producer. Did a great job for us tonight. Conley under center again. This time it's Hine over the 20-yard line. He's sure the first down by about a yard. And now got some extracurricular stuff going on down there. Brad John got into it, number 85, one of the Cardinal linemen. And that's the end of the third quarter.
Oh, I thought that. Sorry, I didn't see it. So we're going to go right now down to Sarah.
All right, down on the sideline, Sarah.
Sarah, go ahead.
It's the end of the third quarter here at Highmark Stadium with the Randolph Cardinals still lead at the Titans 18-0. I got to speak with Titans head coach Jason Marsh before the half. He mentioned that he wanted his team to stay aggressive, to stay in it, because they've been here before. We'll see what the Titans can bring in the fourth quarter. Back to you, Tom.
All right, thanks, Sarah. That was a live report for us. 1 quarter away from another title championship for this Randolph Cardinals team. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here at the Class D Championship. WesternNewYorkAthletics.com. We'll be right back.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to HowardHanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at HowardHanna.com.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you.
All right, back here at Highmark Stadium, started the fourth quarter. Randolph Cardinals with an 18-point lead, looking to add to it on a 3rd down and 2 play here from their own from the 20-yard line.
Scoring update from our other game. Touchdown St. Mary's. They lead 23-0 with 8:07 left in the third quarter.
The give, the Paget, and why not? And he's right at the first down marker. He put his head down and buried his way to about the 18-yard line. And let's see where they spot this one. Now they're bringing it back a little bit.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a little short.
Yeah. Short by about foot and a half. But they're going for it, no question about it. 4-down territory here, up 18 points.
So, folks, you want to stay with us at the end of this game as we will have a post-game show. We're going to kick it back to Frank, Joe, and Francis right now, and they're going to give you a post-game show, so stay with us. And then later you're going to have some post-game interviews.
Pageant, first man through once again, and I believe he's got it. They'll keep this drive going. The Cardinals are doing it behind the running here of Luke Pageant. He's had 5 carries on this drive, and he is hammering away down there. That ball inside the 17-yard line, 1st and 10 for Randolph here from their 17.
So like we said, there will be post-game interviews that we're going to upload later right now that Sarah's going to do for us. So we got everything covered right now for you guys today. All your action here at the stadium.
Bush takes a snap, and he keeps it himself, and they're waiting for him. Nice tackle there. Who came up with that one? Number 56, I believe? 56, that's right. It's Ben Brohl. So Brohl comes up with a big play there. Andrew Boyler coming off of number 55 for FEville. So that's a 3-yard loss. Make it 2nd and 13. Titans have to come up with a stop here somehow. Bush in the Wildcat once again. Takes the snap, gives it to Hine. Hine right side, 20, 15, cuts inside, 10, 5, and down to the 3-yard line, and that was a gutsy run from Xander Hine. Boy, he got some shifty moves, Tom.
And forget it, when he gets to the outside, you know he's going to find something right there. That's what he's done so well today. If he gets to that outside, he's going to beat you, and he's done it every single time today.
Picked up 15 on that first down run. So 1st and goal to goal from the Titans' 5-yard line. And this could be the beginning of the end here for this Franklinville-Ellicottville squad. A tough defense that's played its heart out today, but they can't find an answer for Hine. Hine, once again, the ball carrier. This time he's taken down. And once again, it's 56 on the tackle. Ben Brohl.
I'll tell you, one of the differences today we've seen. Tim, can you put up total yardage for us on the screen? There you go. That's the story right there, folks. 257 yards to 84. That right there tells you the story in this game.
No question about it. It's total command here by this Cardinals offensive unit. And they're firing on all 8 cylinders right now. As we come down inside 9 minutes here. High snap. Bush had to get away from him, and he's taken down immediately. They drop him for a 5-yard loss. High snap that Josh Bush could not handle. Finally got it in his hands. By the time he did, he was down. I did not see who brought him down.
Yeah, it was hard to tell the number. That's what I've been trying to read right there. I read it as 88 or 98, and I don't see that on, so that's why it's tough to see.
Actually, I thought it might have been 61, Ethan Frank from the far right side. Regardless.
Actually,
it's 3rd and goal to goal.
You know what? It
from
may
the
have
10.
been Connor Terwilliger. The 6'3", 180-pounder, number 99 is who I think it may have been.
Bush again in the shotgun situation. Now a flag down here, as I think we had a procedure call. Let's see, and we do. So now Randolph's starting to pick up the flags with their 5th call against them tonight. They're backing them up. But you know this Cardinal team, Tom, they're going to run it.
Oh, well, but you know what you got to worry about. They can pass it if they need to. But they haven't had to. What they're doing is just controlling this clock right now. The time of possession is all in the favor of right now Randolph, and all they're doing is keeping Franklinville-Ellicottville off the field.
3rd down and goal from the 15. There's Hine, gets some room on the outside. Look out. Hine gets pushed down. He's going to go to corner. He scores again. Xander Hine with his 3rd touchdown of the game, and that should do it. What a game. A 15-yard scamper for Xander Hine.
To the outside. What happens, right? He got to the outside. He's the first one out there, and a great block right there, as you saw. 87 Huntington right now get his block, and then he took care of the rest.
He sure did, and he showed some great speed right as he hit the 5-yard line to get to the corner. So that should send the crowd packing here. 24-0 lead going again for 2.
I think, listen, you've got two fan bases that are very faithful, and there's no doubt we're going to see both of them here. I know that the Franklinville-Ellicottville had a tailgating session here at 3 o'clock, right?
They were.
So, and I loved seeing that. You know they wanted to be there.
Another flag down thrown in the end zone. And actually, it's going to be a timeout before the flag was thrown. So timeout by Randolph as they try this, their fourth two-point conversion of the day. They're 0 for 3. And we heard something that I don't think I've ever heard from high school. Every ticket was sold for Fredonia and Jamestown.
Frontier, Jamestown. That's okay. Then we got a Fredonia. They're just later. That's
all.
all.
I'm sorry. Frontier and Jamestown sold every ticket to their fan base in the school, and I believe the schools get something like 500-600 tickets.
Yeah, it's in fact,
in advance.
I'm actually kind of surprised that we don't see them filtering in yet. You know what I mean?
Well, that's not how it works. They clear the stadium out after the game, and then they open the gates up once again for each game. So they'll clear the fans out, and then they'll start letting fans in for the start of the second game, which is, of course, Jamestown and Frontier. What a ball game that's going to be. Unfortunately, Frontier will be without the services of their great quarterback.
Yeah, Lipper's been. We saw him in a boot, in fact, at media day, and he's been out for the last couple of weeks.
2-point conversion try, and Hines going to come back through and run it in easy. Why not? Xander Hine does it again. This time with a 2-point conversion that makes it 26-0 here with 7:59 remaining in this football game. Tom, what can you say? The kid's doing a job along with Padgett.
I mean, him and Padgett just have been really unbelievable today, and you can't really give enough adjectives to describe how well they've run the ball. It really has. And it's not that, you know, the Franklinville-Ellicottville has played bad. There's just been some unbelievable runs. Like we talked about the hit that Hind absorbed and ran out. Like I'm watching most guys go down after a hit like that, and you're just seeing this Randolph team, how tough they are, especially in the trenches, especially by some of their skilled guys. It's really been something to watch. And
that was a 7+ minute drive, Tom. They're doing the job just like you need to do.
That's what
Keep
you have a lead.
Offense on the sideline.
That's it. You have a lead. You need to own the time of possession, and they're doing exactly that and more. And done it overcoming penalties too, Mark. That's been one of the biggest things. They've overcome every single thing along the way.
Carpenter gets the whistle, and here's the boot. And the big man puts his foot into another one. Bielecki had the ball, fumbled it back. He's going to have to try to take it out. 5-10, they're going to try to bring him down, and they do, around the 8-yard line. So things keep getting worse for this Titans special team unit here. Bielecki had it in his hands around the 3 or 2-yard line, dropped it.
I actually thought it was going to cross into the end zone, and that they would have gotten it at the 20 right there, and it looked like he picked it up just before it went in the end zone right there.
Well, he didn't have much time to think about it, that's for sure, as the Cardinal special teams is coming down the field hard on him. They put the ball at the 9-yard line, and it's a long 91 yards to go here for this Titans offense.
Remember to tune in after the game for our post-game show with Frank, Francis, and Joe. They're going to have a great one here. So they get an opportunity to talk about this game and more.
So Marsh in the shotgun, and let's guess what he's going to do here with a couple receivers out to the left side. He's going to keep it himself and takes the pain right as he crossed the 10-yard line. Ooh, he'll feel that one in the morning.
And look at two of the names in on that, right? Yep. Huntington and Padgett, right? The same ones we've been talking about right now. Comes up big.
Well, I know Xander Hine had a heck of a game here with 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
I'm going to give my player of the game to Mr. Padgett. He's done a great job on both sides of the ball. Luke Padgett is my player of this game here. What a ball game. Number 5 in red for the Randolph Cardinals. 2nd down and 8 now for the Titans. FEville running out of time, just trying to break the shutout here, if they can. Carson's going to keep it himself. Conley spins his way out over the 25-yard line, still on his feet. And they finally drag him down around the 27. That was a nice run there. Picked up 5 or 6. They'll put that ball down at, I believe, the 28-yard line. And it'll be third and a long 1.5 here, maybe. Let's see where they spot that. Actually, it backed it up a little bit. Call it 3rd and 2 here for Franklinville, Ellicottville. This Titans team coming in this game at 7-2 this year. And once again, it's Marsh on the keeper, excuse me. Lucas Marsh, and he got cut down.
Yeah, they're going to have to punt this one out right now.
So it's 4th down and 6 here. And it's always kind of sad when you know your season's coming down to an end. Oh, Marsh took a hit there. He's holding his right hip, and he comes off the field slowly. He took a whack on the first run, and he appears to be okay, but he's hurting. So they're going to punt it away here. The snap, clean snap. And the punt is up in the air, and it's going to bounce around the 37-yard line or so, and it's going to be touched down at the 35-yard line. So Randolph's going to come back out with great field position.
So remember, folks, we are not able to do the Jamestown Frontier game live. We apologize. We'd love to. We really would, but unfortunately, Spectrum does own the rights to that game. It will be live on Spectrum. For those of you who do not have Spectrum and still want to see this game, we are tape delaying it so that we can actually put it out for you tomorrow morning. And I think it's 9:30 tomorrow morning. We will have it out, so you'll see the stream.
Conley on the give, and first man through once again. Is that number 5 once again? That is not, I believe. Oh, yeah, it is, Paget. Oh, what a game.
Oh, no, it was Hines. Oh, no, 33 it was.
Oh, we got a new player in the
It was 33. We apologize. That was Birch.
Yeah, Kristen Birch with the call. So a nice run there, and it's a first down pickup. As he picked up 10 yards. So another player coming off the bench here.
Looks like Marsh is going. Yeah, was that Marsh that just ran off? No, that was Newzo that just ran off the field.
Yeah, that's the Newzo, the punter. He might have had something happen to him after that last punt here. Let's gain on the ground, picked up about 4 yards. That clock just keeps ticking away, Tom.
Yeah, you can see is ticking away on the rest of the season right here in Randolph, looking to try to advance here. But for the next game, folks, you can still tune into our Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter pages. You can see our pregame, our halftime show, and our postgame. So you can get some updates from us, at least get the updates, and then, of course, tomorrow see the rest of the game.
First man through, and I believe 44?
Mm-hmm.
That's Paxton Slade. Paxton Slade on the carry, picked up a yard. Slade's a junior, 5'10", 165-pounder. Good to see some of these kids that don't normally get to play on the first team unit come in and get some carries.
In a championship game to boot, right? That's exactly what you want to see, and give this coaching staff a ton of credit getting them in the game right now in such a big game.
Just wondering who their Section 5 opponent will be next week in the regionals. Pitch out. And going to the far side of the field and running hard over there is Christian Birch. So Birch takes the ball and unfortunately went out of bounds. That's probably the last thing he wanted to do, but picked up possibly enough for a first down. Let's see where they place this down here. At the 15-yard line, and I believe that should be a first down. Well, they're going to have to take a look at it here. I guess they're going to bring the chains. Make the chain crew's getting a little cold on the far sideline there, Tom.
And they need a little action.
Yeah, they need to come in here and loosen up the legs a little bit.
So, Mark, we do want to let everybody know for next week, right, as far as games that are broadcasted, okay?
Yes.
Next week, the only way to watch these games are on the NFHS network. That's the only way to watch them. So if you want to watch your team play, you want to actually go to NFHS network, subscribe right there You will at least need a 30-day subscription to them, but you have to go through the NFHS network, and hopefully that you'll get a chance to still hear some of our Western New York athletics guys on those broadcasts.
And, of course, this Western Regional is going to be played in Jamestown next weekend for the first 2 games, and the other 3 right at Williamsville South High School. That's about a mile and a half from my house. And I got to tell you, it's a beautiful facility.
Yep. Oh, it really is.
With brand new lights and everything good to go. A 2-year-old field.
I got actually a chance to call some soccer games over there just recently. We got a chance to see Will South actually advance at their home field, advance into the regional states.
And yourself and myself, we called a baseball game there once.
Oh, in fact, in fact, we can go up in the stands here and look down on the field. It's one of the best places to do a baseball game to call it, Mark.
It was.
It really is a great area.
So,
and we're going to be doing a lot of baseball again. When that rolls around. We got some big announcements coming for the Western New York people when it comes to baseball. Wait to hear some of the things we're going to be doing there.
Can't wait. On the ground, another carry again. First man, no, actually it's Conley kept it on the quarterback keeper, and he picks up the first down. And that is going to just wind this thing down inside the 3-minute mark. The Cardinals are going to take their time, 26-0 lead. They're going to move on to the Western Region Finals next week, and we'll try to figure out who they might be playing. Section 5 decides their Class D winner.
And they're probably playing as we speak, so we may not hear it for a little bit. But I'll tell you, they got a train right now coming their way in this Randolph team. They are for real, and this team can play.
Conley under center once again. He's going to hand off once again. It's Birch, and he stuffed Birch this time. In on that tackle, number 89 for Franklinville. Or 99, excuse me, got Connor Terwiller on that play. But the Titans know they're beat. Looking up at the score clock as we just passed the 7 o'clock mark here. This game started at 5 o'clock, so not a bad time on this game right now. Had a lot of penalties early, though, Tom.
That's it. But when you have two teams that have run the ball as much as they had, that clock just keeps running is exactly what it is. But I will tell you, I've been very impressed with this line at Randolph. Been very impressed with the defense here in Randolph. This team has got the capabilities to go far in the state tournament.
Birch, and he's nailed. As number 56, and we've been mentioning his name, Ben Brohl, the junior linebacker, came in and laid the lumber to Birch on that play. Knowing he's going to be the last couple of hits that you're going to get for the fall season until next year when you're a junior. Makes you go in the weight room and try awful hard to get back into shape for another season.
The end of the third quarter, over at our other game, St. Mary's leads Timon 30-0 at the end of the third.
And I'm afraid that ball game is over.
Yeah, that one definitely is. I like, though, saw the start that we saw them come out for Timon. You know what I mean? It wasn't a blowout type scenario.
Pitch out the Birch. They're going to swing him down back around the 14-yard line, so it's another loss on 4th down. I believe it was 4th down. Let's see. No, it was 3rd down, excuse me. So that'll be 4th and 12 here. Thomas, we're inside 1 minute. What a game here by Randolph and the Class D champions. They deserve it. They played great. Both sides of the ball.
They've had a great season, period, right? They have had every challenge in front of them. They've stepped up and answered. Now you get a chance to go after a state title. And this Randolph team is absolutely got the type of team that could go after a state title.
Sure can. Conley under center, and he's going to hand it off. No, he's going to keep it himself. Conley looks to go to the corner, and he's down there to the pylon. He picked up the first down. Can you believe it? Down around the 1-yard line. Carson Conley took it himself and was running a little bit like Josh Allen there with a nice little gait and stride on himself and put his head down. We're going to mark it down at the 2. That's going to be 1st and goal to go.
The only difference is he had no stands, nobody in the stands over there to jump into after he would have scored. I won't be surprised if we even see a kneel down right here, Mark. I really won't.
So just 20 seconds left here. What a run that was by Conley. What a way to finish out the ball game for that quarterback who's played well. And Josh Bush
Yeah, and they're gonna kneel this one. So as they
Yep.
kneel, folks, remember we've got our post-game show with Francis, Frank, and Joe. Also, look later on for our post-game interviews from Sarah, who's going to do our post-game interviews. We've got the entire stadium covered for you, folks.
That was a penalty. That was the 6th flag on Randolph. That was a motion penalty before the snap, and now they're just going to kneel on it here. And that should wrap it up here from Highmark Stadium. The Class D champions, the Randolph Cardinals, are going to move on to the Western Regionals to play the Section 5 winner next weekend. What a job here. 26-0 your final score. I'd like to thank Tim Gardner, the producer. And, of course, my color man, Tom Prince, myself, Mark Johnson. And we're going to send it down to Sarah, I believe, down on the field. Let's see.
I think what we're going to do is stay here, Mark.
Yeah.
For they do the Character Athletes Award.
That's right.
So why don't we stay here, and we
Sure.
can actually turn our crowd mic on, and you can see the Character Athlete Award get awarded right here, as both teams will line up first and do their handshake.
Well, this is my favorite part, Tom. I missed this last spring. The teams, of course, that competed last spring in a 5-game season didn't get a chance to do this. Teams come out at midfield and shake hands.
Yep.
And to me, it's one of my favorite parts of the ball game. A hard-fought ball game here tonight. You got to give credit to the Titans. They didn't give up. Their defense was challenged. They got scored on. They didn't score, of course, but it was a tough, well-played game. And for the most part, it was a clean ball game.
Oh, it really was. I mean, and those face masks that we talked about, that was nothing that was bad. It was just aggressive guys going after tackling is all that it was. And unfortunately, early on in this game, I felt like some flags had cost Franklinville-Ellicottville some drives maybe to get them some of the momentum they've needed. But I'll tell you, Randolph capitalized on every single thing that was put in front of them today, led by Paget, led by Hind. Those two guys, just unbelievable, those two on the field today. I thought also, I want to add in Huntington's name on the defensive side of the ball too, because he was huge defensively also. But I thought when you talk about those three guys right there, they really lead the way right there for Randolph. And then, Conley too. I don't want to leave out Conley because I thought Conley had some key runs in there to be able to help his team out also. But I'll tell you, great win right here for Randolph. This team is for real. We tried to give the line a little bit of love out there at the same time because I really felt that line owned a lot of things in the line of scrimmage today and was a big reason for some of the success that Randolph happened.
And, of course, Xander Hine with a 15-yard run, a 2-yard run, and a 19-yard touchdown catch. What a game for him. 3 touchdowns for Hine. And
Mark, he shows why he is in right now, that conversation to be in that Conley Cup.
Without question.
So let's turn it right now over to our crowd mic, see if we could pick up and get the Character Athlete Awards right here to finish this one up before we go to the post game. So, folks, we're not picking the announcing usually is way louder, and we're not picking it up at all right now. So let's see if we can tell you who it is. It looks like that's 69 right there for Franklinville-Ellicottville. That's Caleb Plotz right there who will win the award for Franklinville-Ellicottville.
Plotz had a great game, and of course it's Luke Pageant. Who else? Number 5 gets it for Randolph. So both players shake hands. Both coaches are out there as well. And a job well done by both players tonight, especially Luke Pageant.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. So, hey, listen, a great first game to start this one off, right? Randolph was now in our first team to represent Western New York in Section 6 in the state tournament. We still got 4 more to go to represent the Western New York in the state tournament. And then don't forget Monsignor Martin, because we have a winner, St. Francis Canisius, looking to go to their state tournament and go against a team downstate to try to go after their state title too. So why don't we right now, can we kick it over to our post-game interview? We're going to kick it right now over to Frank Francis and Joe as they got your post game.
All right, welcome into the press box at Highmark Stadium. This is the Howard Hanna Western New York Immediate Care post-game show, the Class D Section 6 championship. As you just saw, Randolph wins this one 26-0. They get their first sectional title since 2014. And the second half was pretty much, I think, what we expected, what we saw in that second quarter. Randolph runs away with it. They just wear down the Titans, and they end up the top of Class D.
Yeah, they really did. It was a really good second half again, just running the ball with Hind and just, just controlling the possession, especially in the third quarter. I mean, Randolph had the ball, and talk about field possession, guys. Guess who had it the whole game? Randolph. And it was just great defense and the defensive line. They just gave their Ellicottville's quarterback no time. They get the 52-yard run by Bush, the 3-yard run by Hind, a 29-yard reception on that fourth down. Hind was great today, but the defense really won this. I mean, you get a shutout. It's incredible in a championship game.
Well, the goal was, I think Frank would agree with me, the goal was to stop Lucas Marsh, and they did it. He leads the Titans in rushing and passing, and the Randolph defense knew exactly what to do, and they did it. And they did it better than they did in week 2. Remember that week 2 game? Randolph won 36-20 or 36-26, and it's a much different story this time for the Cardinals. They take control in that second quarter and just keep it for that second half. Frank, is this, I noticed Hind only had 39 yards in the first half, but second half, and we're going to get those stats very soon, the official numbers, but I imagine he did much better just to take it over.
Well, I mean, that's one of the reasons why he's been on the Connolly Cup radar all season long, because he's churned out these types of numbers. He's had, very good performances week after week after week. The stats are coming in now. Thank you very much, Jeremy Becker.
Hot off the presses.
Rushing, Franklinville, Ellicottville, Marsh, 7 for 10. And then for...
That's the second half stats only? Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. 8 and 75. 75 yards in the second half for Hind. But again, Francis and Joe, he's had great performances week after week after week. Everyone knew coming into this game, the assignment for Franklinville, Ellicottville was to find ways to stop Xander Hind. And as we found out today, that's a very difficult task for any defense. And he got really good blocking. I mean, did you see some of those holes that were open? And they did a good job of getting him out to the outside, exercising the entire field. And Hind, if there was open field, he found it, and he made them pay. And time of possession was huge in this game. Franklinville, Ellicottville, they're still a tough opponent. Things didn't go their way today, but that's a program that's not going anywhere. They've gotten stronger and stronger under Coach Marsh. Today's not an indictment on that program at all. The score out there, Randolph is just a hot team. They've been good all year, and this is just one of those outcomes that you wish they would have been able to leave the stadium with a touchdown or a score on the board, but I'll tell you, those kids will be ready next year. They had a great season. They shouldn't hang their heads. They gave it their best shot today, but look how tough Randolph is. They're tough.
Yeah, Luke Padgett gets character athlete of the game. I think one of the most underrated players on this team. We talked about it at halftime. I just love those guys those secondary backs who are kind of bigger and they're just physical. And I think that's what really allows Hind to shine, because you can't put too much focus on Hind. You have to focus on Padgett in the middle, and often it'll take 2 or 3 guys just to take him down.
And guys, if you think about this game, they scored 26 points, Randolph, right? And Randolph scores a lot of points. I mean, their score that they had in their semifinal game was ridiculous, right? And they had another shutout. They got forced to punt the first 2 times they had the ball. After that, other than 1 interception, they scored every time. And then at the end of the game, they nearly scored again, and time just ran out. It was just unbelievable. As Tom Prince always said, it really starts with the lines, offensive line, defensive line, and you saw it, and it just wears down a defensive line. And Marsh, who's a great quarterback from Ellicottville, he struggled today because of the defensive line. And, congratulations. But as Frank said, with Ellicottville losing, there's no shame in losing this game. They had a great season. sometimes one team has to lose, guys. You just come up a little short.
And
Francis and Joseph, just so you guys know, right now, out in Section 5, there's a game going on between Oakfield, Alabama, and Avon that's being carried on YouTube by Varsity Media, our friends over there from Section 5. It's 7-0, Oakfield, Alabama leading, about 3:40 left to go in the first quarter, so you can tune over there if you want to. Just if you're a Randolph fan, you want to see who you're playing next week, keep your eyes on that game. It'll be played next Friday, 5 p.m. at Strider Field down in Jamestown. We're going down there, but that's going to be on the NFHS network, so you have to get a subscription for that one. We cannot carry that.
And keep in mind that subscription you get will last you. If Randolph is able to make it to the stadium, that $10, or I think maybe it's 15 now, but that will cover you for up until through state championships. And I don't know if there's any other Randolph teams that have made it in the state playoffs, but it'll also cover you for that as well. But Randolph gets a fantastic win.
There are other guys that showed up today too for Randolph. I mean, you talk about Hind, we talk about him all year long, but some other guys showed up too. I mean, Josh Bush was a beast in that first half.
He really opened it up. I thought that was kind of the turning point, getting that touchdown.
And that's one of those things, Franklinville, you're preparing for Hind, and then we're not going to let this kid beat us in the first half. That's the game plan. We're not going to let this kid beat it. If we're going to lose today, someone else is going to have to step up. And this Bush kid definitely did that. And how about 87, Jaden Huntington? Did you see that sack in the third quarter? I mean, he's just a tough competitor. Real big dude, too, 87. He reminds me of a kid who used to play at Maple Grove just a few years ago. Name's escaping me right now. But that's a nice team they have there in Randolph. I expect them to go all the way. I really do. And, the future is bright for this program. Coach Brown's done a wonderful job. We knew at the beginning of the year when we did the preview for CSP and talked to Coach Harper, he told us point blank, that Randolph team is for real. They could have beaten us last year, and watch out for them this year. They are going to be much better, much tougher, and we saw that today.
And
if I just may butt in just for a second, because he brought up Huntington. Huntington had 74 total tackles on the year, 55 total, 12 sacks defensively. I mean, he was just a beast. The whole defensive line just caused so many problems. Yeah. But Huntington, outstanding. He was a player that I was watching. It's funny you brought it up because it's not a surprise. He had a great game.
You had talked about can Randolph go so far. Section 6 in recent history has really done well in Class D. Obviously, a couple of years ago, we had CSP go back-to-back state titles. I believe Randolph, the last time they won 2014, they made it pretty far, if not a state title. Yeah, they did win a state title back in 2014. So Section 6 usually does well in Class D. So, there's a good chance the Cardinals, if they can keep this up, can make it all the way to the Carrier Dome.
Again, we'll be down at Strider Field next Friday night for the Class D Far West Regional game, 5 o'clock. We're going to try and do this, too, at Strider. It's a little tighter down there in that press box. I don't know if we'll get away with it, but we're going to do our best. And, again, that is on the NFHS network. We have no say in that. We cannot put it on WNY Athletics, but we will be doing pregame, postgame, halftime. We'll have those player interviews, coach interviews after that game. So follow us along throughout the rest of the playoff bit here for section football finals.
Yep, and we should have later on tonight, we should have more post-game coverage. You saw Sarah Holland was here on the sideline. We're trying to get, should be getting some more post-game interviews. We'll have them up on our social media, on Facebook and Twitter later in the day.
And we have recaps for web content. We've got Mike Straw is going to be recapping this game for us. That should be up in the next hour or so. And then you're going to have Jamestown, Adam Gorski and Mike are going to do write-ups for that game as well. So we've got a lot of content coming out. Enjoy the next few games.
Yeah, so this next game, the Class A, we will not be carrying live. It'll be on Spectrum, but we are going to be live with pregame, halftime, and postgame coverage. So when the game hits a break, be sure to keep an eye on us on our social media pages. We'll have coverage there. And then tomorrow, our coverage continues at 11:30 with live coverage continues at 11:30 with pregame, the Class C game. And we going live all the way through until the end of that AA game as well. And then I believe tomorrow we're going to show the A game on tape delay that I think that starts around 9:30 tomorrow morning. So we have
It depends how long it goes. If that's a longer game, we're going to start it at 9. We want that to be a segue into tomorrow's games. So the first game's at noon. So if we're going to do that pregame show at 11:30, we want to make sure there's enough time.
So yeah, either 9 or 9:30. We'll try to get some more information out tonight before everybody goes to bed on when we're going to air that game on tape delay. But we cannot, unfortunately, show that one live. But we will get the rest live, and we'll still have coverage before, during, and after the game from here in the press box. I think that's all we have for now.
Let's get an update from St. Mary's.
Oh, that's right. That's also good. So keep in mind, this usually doesn't happen because the section added an extra week of the regular season. It has just so happens the Monsignor Martin Championships are also this weekend. Usually they'd be in the same weekend as regionals. Obviously, this was all pushed back, so now it's on the same weekend. So St. Mary's time is going on right now, and then 40-0 Lancers, and then tomorrow, I almost forgot about this, we'll also be showing the Canisius St. Francis game. I think that's a 6 o'clock kickoff.
It is, and that's going to be a great game. St. Francis, you guys, we showed that game at St. Francis, and both teams in the rain. It's like, who wanted it? There was penalties, and St. Francis, but Nowak with that 30-yard field goal was, oh my gosh! I was watching it on YouTube. The ball was high. They got the hold down. It was a big win. I mean, I went to St. Francis. It's always great, even alumni, to beat Canisius. Guys, it's going to be a great game tomorrow.
Yeah, so that game will also be live right here in Western New York Athletics. I believe it's 6 o'clock kickoff. So we'll have, 4 live football games tomorrow, and then the morning we'll have the Class A game on tape delay. So that's all.
That's why Francis and I are talking so slow, because we didn't realize we knew we had a Monsignor Martin product next to us, so that's why we're talking a little slower than
Yes, and you guys don't know. And I wanted to do a league course, so next year I'm going to get a school's mascot, put on my head. I'm going to choose the winner. I grew
that
up
might not work with the headset though.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But I grew up in the Frontier District, and I'm really excited for Frontier. They're coming up next. We got the pregame show. It's going to be packed with a lot of Hamburg kids that I've coached. And it's funny because when you live in Hamburg, you got Frontier and Hamburg. Some kids go to Hamburg, some kids go to Frontier. But tonight it's Frontier's moment, and I think they got 1,000 tickets. They sold out. It's gonna be a great game. These two teams played in 13. I can't wait to talk about it. I can't wait to see the fans.
Can we talk about the 2013 game, Jeremy?
We got plenty of time, don't we?
Wait. Let's save that for the pregame.
Yeah.
All right.
Francis, I'm sorry. I'm just so pumped for the game.
All right. So that's going to conclude our coverage of the Class D final. Again, it's Randolph defeating Franklinville-Ellicottville 26-0, winning their first sectional title since 2014. It's going to conclude our coverage of this game. Join us back here in about 20 minutes for pregame of the Class A game between Jamestown and Frontier. You're watching Section 6 football on Western New York Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. Ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. Get started today at howardhanna.com.
Avoiding care can lead to worse problems. Don't delay care. We're here for you.